and switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With Experience Beyond, switch and get $100 back, plus $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible ported, no cash access, and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks and a member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
This is what WRAL weather coverage sounds
severe
like.
Thunderstorm warning right now in the WRAL Severe Weather Center.
When your safety is a priority.
An indication that there is a tornado on the ground, so get in your safe spot
in this area, get in your safe spot right now.
With the tools that make a difference.
WRAL Storm Tracker is inside the storm.
WRAL has the only dual Doppler radar in Wake County.
Hear it and see it every day.
It looks like the storm is doing exactly what we predicted to do.
That's WRAL News. Weather coverage you can count on.
Clearing out around the house? Organizing closets or storage rooms? The Salvation Army of Wake County Thrift Store needs your donations, including clothing, dishes, glassware, and other household items. Every donation helps generate funding for vital programs that support individuals and families in need right here in our community. Donations can be dropped off at 205 Tryon Road in Raleigh, Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4:45 p.m. Give your gently used items a second life and give hope to someone in need. Learn more at wakearmy.org.
Kids across America are going to school hungry every day. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. Learn more at helpnokidhungry.org.
I have a dare for you. After you use your old mop and bucket, put on your whitest socks and walk across the floor. Now look down. What's that gray stuff on your socks? I used to have that too, until I switched to Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop breaks down and locks away tough messes. Take the dare. Try Swiffer Power Mop. White sock approved.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio, WCMC HD1 Holly Springs, 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Hot and humid out there this afternoon. Only a small chance for thunderstorms, so heat is really our big story. We'll see a high of 92 with a heat index up around 100 or so. 73 tonight, and then we'll rinse and repeat tomorrow with a high of 92, a small chance for storms, and a heat index in the triple digits.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 79 points today to 53,964. This hour of The Drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
Deep left corner of the end zone! Jalen Coker hauls it in for a touchdown!
Off the back iron!
Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Copeland jabs on him a couple of times. Step back three-pointer, left corner, swish.
One dribble out for Boozer for three. Big time! And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan on a Friday. That's Carolina Panthers Victory Friday to you. Shout out to the third and fourth stringers getting it done on the 2-minute drill. Take that, Arizona Cardinals. My name's Tim Donnelly, Max Gorin producing the show today. We should have a fun one for all of those reasons I just mentioned and many, many more. Football is back, and now we have to wait another week and a half until it gets started again. But football is back. And we're back for a Friday show, so let's start it off with the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Yeah, you know where we're going with this. The Panthers win the Hall of Fame game. Well, first of all, let me start from the beginning. The entire Big 3 at 3 is presented by Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Whether it's maintenance and service schedules or you need something fixed right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, Maynard Service Company. MAYNOR services.com. That's MaynardServices.com. All right, the Hall of Fame game. They won. It was fun. It was football. We were back, sitting on my couch. I was watching football. It was great. We'll focus on the good. We also have to address the bad, and there was plenty of both. Haynes King was electric. I don't know if that proves anything. I don't know if any victory laps should be taken by anybody, but Haynes King was electric, and in that game, he made it a different feeling contest. It felt more fun. Jasim Reed caught a touchdown. He needs to make a play or two a day, right? A big play or two a day keeps the Grim Reaper away. That's what they call it in the NFL. The guy that walks around in the middle of the night knocking on doors saying, grab your iPad, coach wants to talk to you, and that means you're cut. A play or two a day from that guy will keep the Grim Reaper away, and you do that long enough, pretty soon you're on the team. A.J. Dillon scored. That run means absolutely nothing to me. He's our short yardage back. Nobody touched him. Max, no offense, you could have done that one. You can run straight forward for 7 yards.
I can. I'm also shifty, though, between the tackles.
Okay. You're more of a vision guy. Patient, like Le'Veon. Lathan Ransom hit a guy so hard that Lathan Ransom's face and jersey was bloodied. That's Lathan Ransom's role. I actually liked both of the young safeties last night. Lathan Ransom, do what you do. Knock people's heads. Zakee Wheatley, everywhere, and also punch the ball out. I know that the Cardinals were able to get back on top of it, but that defense needs guys who have a nose for the ball. One game, one forced fumble. Again, Cardinals recovered it, so it's not going to be a highlight, but you put the ball on the ground. Statistics will show that as soon as you put the ball on the ground, it's luck. Ball's on the ground, whichever team falls on it, that's luck. All the defense can do is force it out. It's about 50-50 offense or defense recovering. Brad Idzik went deep into his bag of tricks as a play caller to get things rolling for the Panthers. I didn't expect it, potentially because almost nobody goes deep into their bag of tricks in a Hall of Fame preseason game. But you could tell when that offense was sputtering early, Brad Idzik was like, oh, we're not going to go no momentum here. We're not going to get bottled up. He started calling fake screen leaks. He started calling all kinds of stuff to make sure they got that first score. Then things got rolling. Haynes King got in the game. The offense started playing better, but he wanted that. And I like an offensive coordinator with a little bit of an ego. That's the good. Bad, Carson Beck diced up their defense. Corners bit on every single double move. They were just waiting for a double move to break on. Sam Heck, the draft pick center, got bulldozered a few different times. Do you know what really frustrated me? All of the draft experts, right? Because Sam Heck, I mean, he just got pushed backwards, and he just walked backwards with the player a few times. And the Twitter analysts from draft coverage suddenly start going, anchoring was a big issue he had. I was worried about his anchoring. I'm going, an offensive lineman? You were worried about his anchoring, and you just waited to bring it up now? Trevor Etienne showed very little. Didn't make any noise as a returner. That's starting to look like a how much can you trust him as a running back pick. I didn't like the pick when it happened. The first two drives, which were presumably against the most second stringers, right? The highest ranked guys on the depth chart for Arizona, they were 3 and out and 5 and out, and really the only successful play was being a long defensive pass interference. That's not what you want. So it wasn't all great, but it was pretty darn fun by the end of the night. I didn't care about the outcome until they took over with about 1:50 left. They had the ball. They were down 3. I'm like, I didn't care about the outcome till now. Go win it, fellas. And that's exactly what they did. That is number 1. Let's get to number 2.
Number 2.
The Wyndham Championship, PGA Tour stop coming through the state of North Carolina, is going on as we speak in Greensboro at Sedgefield Country Club. Ben James leading. Have to be honest, didn't know who that was until he popped up on the scoreboard yesterday. He is leading. He is 2 strokes clear of everybody, 11 under par. There is a little bit of a stack tied for second right now. Doug Gim, Max Gracerman, played at Duke. We'll talk about him in a second. Sahith Theegala, Alex Noren, David Skins, and Alex Smalley also played at Duke. The reason why I said we'll talk about Max Gracerman in a second. This is the last regular season PGA event. The FedEx Cup playoffs begin with the St. Jude's Invitational. To make it into that Invitational, you need to be in the top 70 in FedEx Cup points. Max Gracerman came into this tournament, one more to get points, 99th. I believe I've done the math correctly, and he needs to finish at least solo second or better if he wants to jump into the top 70 and get to play in the FedEx Cup playoffs, which, by the way, is money. It's really important for your career. Gracerman is currently tied for second. He needs to finish solo second or better. Obviously, if you win, that's better, to make it. So he is giving it the old-fashioned go. In similar fashion, Michael Brennan, who played his college golf at Wake Forest, he's tied for 8th right now, although he is still on the course through 9 holes, so he has half his round to play. He is tied for 8th at 8 under par. I believe he also needs a solo second or better. So these guys are going to be pin-seeking on the weekend, trying to fly up those leaderboards.
These guys need solo second. There's like 8 people tied for second right now.
Hey, but there's for some of them more than 2 rounds to go.
Sedgefield's awesome. I think the last time I went was 2 or 3 years ago, and I think I told this story already, but I was on the par 5. I think it's the 15th hole, and saw Charlie Hoffman make an albatross, which was really cool.
That'll do.
So,
that will do for sure. It's a beautiful course. We could talk about that all day. And just one more point here on the FedEx Cup playoffs. As it stands right now, there is only one person that was projected to be outside the playoffs that is now projected to be in if the tournament were to end now, and that is Ben James, who's leading the way. It's very difficult to miss out on the FedEx Cup playoffs if you win a tournament during the year. So if he wins, he's in. If not, I believe he's out because he's beyond those other guys that we were talking about coming into the tournament. And there's only one person that was projected to be in that's out now, and that would be Stephen Fisk, who came in 69th and is now projected to be 71. So he's just right on that cusp. All happening in Greensboro, as you just heard Max say. Pretty darn sweet place to play golf. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
HighSchoolOT Jamboree tomorrow. It is 5 games. They're preseason scrimmages. High school football. 5 games starting at 5 o'clock. There's one an hour. The last one starts at 9 p.m. It is at First Horizon Stadium, Wake Med Soccer Park. Again, this is high school football. I did some digging earlier today. If you go to the HighSchoolOT Jamboree tomorrow, go to HighSchoolOT.com to buy your tickets ahead of time. If you go to the HighSchoolOT Jamboree tomorrow and you watch all 5 games, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you will see at least 17 power conference commits. At least, right? Obviously, guys could commit beyond, and they're start. Maybe they'll turn heads, and coaches will offer them after performing at the high school OT. But the headliners, Rashad Streets, Edge, Millbrook High School, Xavier Hassan, cornerback, Cardinal Gibbons High School. They're going to Oregon and Notre Dame, 5-star, 4-star, both top 50 in the country. Quentin Cipher, Millbrook, committed to Ohio State. Jaden Brody, Rollsville, both defensive players, committed to South Carolina is Brody. Amir Brown, Rollsville, running back, committed to Nebraska. There's commits to Kentucky, Virginia Tech, Duke, Rutgers, NC State. There's guys with Louisville offers, Michigan State offers, Alabama offers, Auburn offers, Florida offers. It's going to be some really, really good talent there. Some of the best teams in the state of North Carolina. So, again, it is all taking place tomorrow, beginning at 5 p.m. At First Horizon Stadium, Wake Med Soccer Park, HighSchoolOT Jamboree. And not to mention, all these guys are already stamped with stars. They're 3 stars, they're 4 stars, they're 5 stars for recruits. There's a bunch of guys that will have stars by the end of the season. You can go see them before they're stamped by 247 or On3 or whoever's doing the rankings. Also, if you're a fan of the local schools in the ACC, there are a couple commitments to Duke. As I mentioned, a couple commitments to NC State. There's an ECU running back going to South Durham who's a 3-star and a good recruit for ECU. So plenty of local connections there as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is the Big 3 at 3, presented by Maynard Service Company. When we come back, out in Canton, Ohio, for last night's game and the Luke Kuechly Hall of Fame induction this weekend is Chris Lee from WRAL. He'll join us next.
Yeah, can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now, save on what you crave. Get a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, medium fries, and medium Coke for just $8. That's one unbeatable deal. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Genie log, day 15,824. The Powerball jackpot is over $800 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $800 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I mentioned Chris Lee from WRAL joining the show. We're getting the twofer. We have Pat Welter and Chris Lee, WRAL sports reporters, both out there in Canton, Ohio. The site for last night's Hall of Fame preseason game, which the Panthers won at the very last second against Arizona, and then also the location for the Hall of Fame induction ceremony weekend, which includes Panthers legend Luke Kuechly. They joined us on the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Fellas, we appreciate your time. First, just vibes of like walking around. Who is a bigger star right now, Luke Kuechly or Haynes King?
Haynes King definitely has his fanfare. We've seen Haynes King jerseys around here, but Luke Kuechly definitely takes the cake here.
Yeah, a lot of number 59s around here, Tim.
Yeah, and it's to be expected. I don't know if these guys are competitive, right? And Hall of Fame weekend is, you think it's like the final frontier, but that doesn't turn off the competition. So Panthers fans versus maybe Cardinals fans or Saints fans, are the Panthers representing for Kuechly the way they should at a big event like that?
Yeah, Panthers fans are representing. I felt like there was a lot more Saints fans than maybe Cardinals fans. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, the Saints have kind of a tradition and a traveling fan base. I think one of the coolest things about it, Tim, this is my first time here, is like, you just look around the stadium last night. It's a rainbow, like of the entire NFL. And it's kind of amazing, like just the tribalness of the NFL, like the almost college football kind of feel of it when you come here to Canton, Ohio, where honestly, probably Steelers fans, if anything, are the most represented, and they don't have anybody going in this Hall of Fame class.
Yeah, if you have an NFL jersey, last night was your night to come wear it somewhere.
See, I couldn't tell.
Where it was at.
I couldn't tell because you look in the stands, you saw a bunch of different jerseys, but I thought they all might just be Kenny Pickett fans because there were Steelers jerseys, there were Browns jerseys, there were Eagles jerseys, there were Panthers, and they could all just be wearing Kenny Pickett. From where you guys are sitting, and you obviously were at the game and you got to be in the postseason. We're talking with Pat Welter and Chris Lee, WRAL. You guys were in the postgame. Is it anything more than that first preseason game overreaction, or do we actually have a quarterback 2 situation going on?
I think, obviously Hall of Fame game overreactions don't always age well. Most likely they do not. But I think there might be something to this Haynes King thing, right? I mean, this guy is an absolute gamer, and anybody who watched him in college knows that. It kind of shocks me a little bit that he was undrafted, but you look at his measurables, they don't stand out, but the dude just balls. And we saw it last night. So, when you think about it, like Coach Canales coached Russell Wilson. And I think back to some other quarterbacks, Chris, too, that popped in the preseason that were legit, like a Dak Prescott. Now, I'm not saying that he's going to usurp Bryce Young, but, passing Kenny Pickett, who I think the jury's pretty much out on, like, he's never going to be a starter in the NFL.
Yeah, and even, like, the zip on Haynes King's passes, like, it just looked different coming from his hands than what it did from Kenny Pickett last night. You could tell a difference. And, like, folks were wondering if Haynes King could actually get the passing part down in the NFL. Like, some of those throws were amazing throws, putting it only where the receiver could get it or throwing receivers open. Like, I was amazed at just the accuracy that he showed outside of missing Jimmy Horn on one of those throws. Other than that, like, he looked like he was there. And honestly, if the Panthers want to save some money because you may have to pay Bryce Young coming up soon, it might behoove you to maybe move Kenny Pickett because you have a guy that's now a legit number 2. So I don't think that's blown out of proportion at all.
If Haynes had a great day, you brought up one of them, somebody had to catch him. Jasim Reed, Jimmy Horn. Was there a shakeup in maybe your expectations for who makes the team at the wide receiver spot?
So I guess Chris Brazzell going down definitely opened up a lot for different people, especially Xavier Legette. But then, like, that 4, 5, and 6 spot, maybe 7, because sometimes Canales will bring in an extra wide receiver, has definitely opened up for sure. I was kind of impressed with Jasim Reed and Horn, also Casey Washington, and also John Mechie. Those guys, I think, all flashed. It's just going to be very interesting, though, because, this, Tim, if those guys can't contribute on special teams, then what are they going to do? And, like somebody like Bryson Tremaine is really usable for certain, like, run packages. So can one of those guys be an effective run blocker as well? It will remain to be seen, but, like, those guys absolutely showed that what they had on the NFL level last night, for sure.
And I'll just add that the tight end group, the skill positions are a little shallow now. Like the Chris Brazzell injury, how is Xavier Legette going to actually perform? You've got Jalen Coker as your number 2. I don't love that on paper. So at least seeing Jatavian Sanders and the tight end groups contribute in a meaningful way was, encouraging to me. But on a whole, I'm still a little worried about that skill group.
And you could tell they wanted to get Sanders involved. First 2 plays of the game we're getting the ball in his hands. Pat Welter, Chris Lee, WRAL, here on the Heastra Automotive Group hotline on The Drive. Let's switch to the other side of the ball. This is one of those things I'm leaning on you, right? Because how well a quarterback is slinging it, I think, is different in person than on TV. Was Carson Beck that good, or was the secondary that bad for the Panthers, particularly early on?
Carson Beck looked like Tim Donnelly at Delaware. He was amazing. He was
so not
like
that good.
back
It was
there.
okay. I got you.
No. He did. He looked great. It looked like I felt like I was watching an NFL veteran. I mean, he is an older guy. He played his time in college, but I felt like I was watching an NFL veteran out there. And honestly, like Jacoby Brissett, if he has a couple bad games back to back, he might have to watch out because Carson Beck absolutely, I think, showed himself. And it was a great ACC quarterback battle between all three, too, though. It really showed how well quarterbacks play that come out of the ACC, even though a couple of those guys didn't start with ACC teams.
I think it speaks, too, to just the complete unpredictability of what works in the NFL. Now, Carson Beck may never have a game like that again in the NFL. But coming into this, I would have bet almost everything I had that he was not going to work. Should I fall off that take right now? I don't know, but I'm wavering, but just because of he seemed like a knucklehead in college. I mean, this guy played in multiple schools, had the celebrity girlfriends, had a big salary, underperformed at Georgia. But you know what? He had an elbow surgery. he had the elbow surgery last year, and his arm never quite seemed right. But last night, the arm strength was back. He's got all the measurables. I mean, I covered this guy in Florida, so I saw him play in high school. I never really saw it. But last night, it was pretty impressive all around. So it just kind of speaks. Nobody really knows with quarterbacks once these guys get on the field in the NFL. And maybe all that kind of adversity he went through made him mentally tough.
One thing, though, don't sleep on Kadon Slovis's 1 year at Pitt. All four quarterbacks last night are ACC legends in some way or some fashion. 1 year at Pitt, it counts too. Looking at the safeties, Lathan Ransom bloodied and knocking people out, and Zakee Wheatley was all over the place. What were your reactions from two guys who potentially have a chance to really get on the field and make an impact?
Yeah, I liked what I saw from Ransom, of course, taking that next step. Zakee Wheatley, young, I thought he showed some flashes. I was really concerned with some of the cornerback play that we saw in the first half. Will Lee, kind of got back on his horse in the second half. But, I mean, Dave Canales said to us earlier this week, he can get beat on double moves, but he has a lot of game in him. And so I felt like we saw some of that last night when he gave up that 35-yarder in the first half, and then he kind of buckled down after that. I was very much so unimpressed with Corey Thornton and Caleb Evans, two guys that I thought, had an outside chance of potentially making the roster and doing something with the Panthers this year. But, I mean, it's only one game. We'll see what happens from there. But, I liked what I saw from the young safeties. The young corners, though, I was not very impressed.
Overall, I just think finding value at the defensive positions is something Dan Morgan has done really well. Now, Nick Scorton hurt. He's already gone. But, I believe in Lathan Ransom, a fourth-round pick. Prince Imanielen has shown flashes, and obviously the free agent signings on defense have kind of transformed the outlook for this defense. So I'm a believer in what Dan Morgan has done on that side of the ball. I think it's one of the biggest improvements they've made thus far.
All right, last question for you, and I know this year's Hall of Fame weekend isn't over, but already looking potentially you guys want to book reservations and things for next year. Next year, will you be back in Canton for either Steve Smith Sr., Cam Newton, Torrey Holt perhaps for NC State local fans? Any of those three guys going to be in the Hall next year?
Man,
I'm putting you on the spot. We got a year to debate, but set your side of the fence now.
I mean, I thought Luke Kuechly made a really impassioned argument for Cam Newton, and I think it's bigger than the stats, right? It's the impact. This guy, what he did at Auburn and coming into the league, the number one overall pick, the things, the faces of the league that play quarterback have transformed. I mean, it's crazy to think about, in the last few years. But when Cam Newton came in, what he faced as a black quarterback, I talked to Ron Rivera about this, and I asked him what he thought about Cam Newton's candidacy for the Hall of Fame, and he couldn't believe that people were asking him in the 2015 Super Bowl what it's like to come to the Super Bowl with a black quarterback. And it's wild to think how far we've come in that regard, and Cam Newton has a lot to do with that. And I mean, this guy, he's, like Kuechly said, the biggest athlete, best athlete on the field, point blank, period.
Yeah, he said he'd run past you, run through you, run over you, like all the things. I think for Cam, the tough part for him is, and I think it's not all the way his fault, but he just didn't have the longevity of like great seasons. Of course, 2015 was the peak, so he had kind of a short peak. But if you go back to like that front office with the Carolina Panthers, they believed in Cam Newton so much. They just never put a great offense around him. They gave him a decent enough offensive line, and he had Ted Ginn Jr. to throw to most years. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never had what Bryce Young actually has right here. Pat was talking about what he feels like is not there, but I would say that, what Bryce Young has at his disposal is way better than anything, Cam Newton ever had outside of Greg Olsen. So it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening. I think that of the three that you named, the one that has the best chance of making it next year, to me, it's probably Steve Smith. But we'll see. Right with that, it just feels like Cam has is going to have a PR issue, and I think it's clear that Torrey Holt has a PR issue right now, even though he should have been in the Hall of Fame like 3 years ago. So.
Receivers just too crowded, like all these receivers. We all know the names, so you hear them and you think, oh, they should, because we play fantasy football. But I mean, it's just so hard. It's such a competitive position to get in on.
Tim, if we can say this really quick, if everybody who's listening, 7:30 tonight. We have a special on WRAL, Carolina to Canton. Pat just told you a little bit about what he did. I talked to Ron Rivera. There's much more that he did. I had a chance to speak to a parent of a student that Luke Kuechly coached at Charlotte Christian. Spoke to the widow of Reggie White, Sarah White. They were inducted 20 years ago here. She was telling me like what Luke Kuechly is going through at this moment. A lot of great stuff that we did. We've been really diving deep into this, and so we have a 30-minute special on WRL tonight. So it's appointment television. If you can't be there, make sure you set your DVR or watch it online for us.
I will do that for sure, and I'm sure everybody else just had the same thought that they're going to make sure to clear out their schedule. Fellas, we appreciate it. Keep up the good work at WRAL, and we'll be checking it out tonight.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Tim.
Once again, that is Chris Lee and Pat Welter, WRAL from Canton. I was taking in their post game last night after the game, just hanging out, adrenaline running after a football game. You can't go right to sleep, right? So they were giving me all the insight back there in Canton, and they'll continue to do so. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, it's Dean's List time. Don't go anywhere.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized, hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
Then we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
When you see this in your kitchen.
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
You hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman's stainless steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This summer, there are 250 reasons to join T-Mobile.
Girls trip? Booked. And switching to T-Mobile helped make it happen.
With experience beyond, switch and get $100 back. Plus, $650 in value in built-in plan benefits. That's $750 in your first year, guaranteed.
And honestly, that $100 back, I'm putting it towards the zip line.
Now that's how you do summer.
Exactly. Best switch I ever made.
This is just one reason to join T-Mobile this summer. There are 250 reasons. Find yours.
Savings based on the value of benefits included with Experience Beyond, like entertainment and 1 year of AAA Classic and Dash Pass on Us. Benefits may require activation. See plan for details. Get $100 via virtual prepaid MasterCard with eligible port and no cash access and expires in 6 months. Issued by Sunrise Banks, N.A. member FDIC. Allow 8 weeks.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Vibing on a Friday. Happy Friday, everybody, by the way. Not sure if I said that at the beginning of the show. Victory Friday. Panthers won last night. On the Drive every day about this time, we put class in session. We honor those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise, and we call it the Dean's List. All right, we have a wide variety on the Dean's List today, and that's without even knowing what Max is bringing to the table. But we do have a couple auto entries, right? Some more watch lists are coming out. Preseason college football, there's an award for everything, and I'm about to illustrate that. Chance Peterson, North Carolina Central running back, has been added to the Walter Payton Award watch list. That's commonly known as the Heisman of FBS. Used to be the 1AA Heisman. Now it's the FCS Heisman, as it's known colloquially. But obviously, Chance Peterson, North Carolina Central running back, being on that list, it's an honor. Means they're expecting big things from him. By the way, Chance Peterson on the Dean's List. Also on the Dean's List, Luke Barnes, junior kicker from Elon. He made the Fred Mitchell Award watch list. Are you ready? This is one of those, there's an award for everything. The Fred Mitchell Award, which has been given out 18 times. This is an 18th annual. So it's been given out 17 times. The watch list for the 18th annual Fred Mitchell Award, which recognizes the nation's top place kickers competing at the FCS Division II, Division III, NAIA, or NJCAA levels of college football. So this is a non-FBS Place Kicker of the Year award. Goes to somebody every year. It's called the Fred Mitchell Award. And on that watch list, along with some kickers from countries, or not countries, they might be in other countries, schools I've never heard of. Bord University. But Elon kicker Luke Barnes is on the list. And he's on the Dean's List as well. More Dean's List. You heard me reference it during the conversation we just had with Chris Lee and Pat Welter. But ACC, the Conference of Quarterbacks, all four. Matter of fact, not just last night. Every single quarterback that has played in an NFL game, preseason, regular season, playoff, all included. Every single quarterback that has played in an NFL game this season played in the ACC. Played in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Kenny Pickett, Haynes King, Carson Beck, Kadon Slovis, all played in the ACC. Some also played in other conferences, but we don't have to talk about that. And obviously no other game has been played, so nice little trivia question for you.
100% clip for the ACC.
100%. We'll see how long it lasts. Max, what do you have for the Dean's List?
I'll put all the North Carolina college golfers that are currently competing in the Wyndham Championship on the Dean's List. There's quite a few. Then most of them look like they're going to make the cut at this point. The highest of which on the leaderboard right now, you mentioned already, Max Graserman's up there. He's T3 right now, trying to compete to make the playoff, or to make the PGA Tour playoffs. In a large tie for third. I believe there's 7 or 8 golfers up there right now at 9 under par. Alex Smalley is up there as well from Duke. From Wake Forest, you've got Alex Fitzpatrick.
His home course, by the way, is Sedgefield. He belongs.
Really?
So he should do well. But he's tied for third, and he is already comfortably in the playoffs. He's in the top 25 for the FedEx Cup points right now.
Yeah, and Webb Simpson. Want to make sure we don't miss Webb Simpson, Wake guy from a little bit longer ago than those other guys, but he's T40 right now. He's looking like he is going to make the cut. He's currently at 4 under, former U.S. Open champion, Webb Simpson. So a couple of North Carolina college golfers. I'm just trying to make sure I didn't miss any that are at least currently trending to make the cut. But
I'm going to run through them all quickly just because I don't know. We set him kind of out of order there.
Ryan Gerard is not going to make it. I see him at 2 under par, T73 right now.
Yeah, he's how many? It might
he's
be.
He's in the house already.
Oh, okay. Gracerman, Smalley tied for 3rd, both Duke golfers. Michael Brennan, a Wake Forest golfer, tied 14th.
Yes, miss Michael Brennan.
Alex Fitzpatrick, a Wake Forest golfer, tied 20th. Webb Simpson, who you brought up, tied for 40th. Ryan Gerard, Ben Griffin, tied for 73rd. They're both in the clubhouse. You're telling me -2 doesn't have a chance?
Not looking likely.
All right. JT Poston from Western Carolina. He played at Western Carolina. He's tied 96th. He's still on the course, but he's got some work to do. And Cam Young, who probably is the best of them currently, is playing the worst of them currently for this weekend. He's tied for 108th right now, 1 over par. Still has some time, but got a lot of room to grow.
My goodness. I'm looking at the bottom of the leaderboard. Nick Dunlap shot 12 over today.
Golfers will understand what's going on there. Nick Dunlap has the driver yips.
Oh,
it is
more sympathetic I could not be.
It hits everybody, even some of the best golfers in the world. He posts some funny numbers, those really high numbers, but it's literally he doesn't know where it's going off the driver, and he's playing well with the rest of his bag. I follow some golf accounts on Twitter that were. This is not a new phenomena for him. It's happening, and he doesn't know how to fix it. That's rough. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. One more here from the Dean's List for you, and so many to choose from. How about Cameron Fenns? South Dakota transfer. We're talking college basketball now. 7-footer Cameron Fenns has committed to North Carolina, committed to the Tar Heels, per Joe Timpton of On3. Until last week, his college career was over. He had no more eligibility, but he becomes eligible with last week's court ruling that kind of shook up college sports, and suddenly he's going to get to play at Carolina, right? It's from South Dakota to Carolina, from finishing at South Dakota with no eligibility to playing for the North Carolina Tar Heels and NBA championship head coach Michael Malone. I don't know how Cameron Fenns, and I'm assuming making a decent NIL check. I don't know how Cameron Fenns is anything but on the Dean's List. Good on you. They need size. They need some veteran bigs. Potentially that'll work out well for the Carolina Tar Heels. Gosh, I've had some. I just keep kicking them down. I'm going to kick them further into the future again. But I have some Dean's Listers that I'm going to say on air. But every day I'm just like, we ran out of time. We'll get to you tomorrow. It's happened for like 4 days now. That's it for the Dean's List. We can go ahead and dismiss. Because I need time to tell you all about Bailey's Fine Jewelry. Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry, where just a few days from now, the 10th, oh no, sorry, just a month and a few days from now. Let me get that straight. It is September 10th. They have an event coming to Bailey's Fine Jewelry. So this is September, next month. On the 10th, they have a Seiko event. Seiko is one of the most respected names in watchmaking. Incredible craftsmanship, incredible value. They tend to have something for every budget once you get into the luxury watch market. And they are throwing an event at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in the Fox & Bailey Watch Shop on September 10th, where they will be bringing a serious expanded inventory collection, which will be exclusive to this event. So that if you're into Seiko and you've been to Bailey's Fine Jewelry recently and you feel like you have a feel for their inventory, you do not have a feel for their inventory at the Seiko event coming September 10th. You're going to need to go out there and check it out for yourself. It's going to be really fun. They've got some really classy, really do-it-all, fit you in every situation watches from Seiko. So if you want something that can dress up, dress down, and everywhere in between, Seiko event coming to Bailey's Fine Jewelry September 10th. When you stop by, just let them know you heard about it from me, Tim, right here on 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, the Panthers won last night. Other than the final score, what are the biggest takeaways? Next.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Refuel and get 25 cents off per gallon when you buy 2 20-ounce Pepsi Zero Sugars with Refuel Rewards.
You're listening to the Financial Safari News Network.
From Coach Pete's Money Desk, America's wealth coach and author of the big book on retirement, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Coach, it really is always tax time. So how is a tax plan incorporated in your overall retirement plan?
It's just about having a plan put together. So we'll put a tax plan together for you to help you look ahead. It's a tax financial flight plan. So looking ahead in retirement to reduce your taxes, not just the simple ways, but there's some complex tax saving strategies we go over with those of you with high net worth. If you have a net worth over $2 million, we've got some great tax saving strategies that could reduce your tax bill. It did for me, 35%. Federal tax and state, 35% less by taking advantage of some special tax saving strategies. So call us right now if you want to find this out.
888-456-7577, 888-456-7577, or text ZONE to 600-700.
Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Adam Gold in studio with my friend Ryan Monsine from the Aluminum Company of North Carolina. Because you guys do everything for the exterior of your home, these things can add up. And there are a lot of people who think, I can't afford this. How can the Aluminum Company make it easier?
Yeah, well, Adam, we have plans that are 12 months, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 12 months, which make it super affordable for people to do anything on their home, whether it's windows, siding, doors, roofing, gutters, any kind of exterior home improvement. The Aluminum Company has financing plans that can fit in your budget and make it easy.
So wait a second. I can get everything done, no interest, and no payments for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We had football last night. Yeah, we did. Do you know what was just personally something that I was like, all right, we're doing okay here? So I'm sitting on the couch. I'm watching the game. My wife was upstairs putting down one of our kids to sleep. I think it was my son. Either way, she came downstairs. Football was on TV. She was like, oh, it's good to see football on TV. Said that out loud. I was like, all right, we're doing okay. Some wives or significant others, when their spouse sitting on the couch watching football again, they're like, no, the next 6 months, you're not going to move. She said it's good to have football on the TV again. I was like, I hope you feel that way in a few months, because it's once it starts, it doesn't slow down, especially after a night like last night. Which, we should be clear, the Hall of Fame preseason game isn't even really a preseason game. Every team plays 3 preseason games. The Panthers still have 3 preseason games to play. This is like an extra. It's like a little purgatory it's a limbo between a scrimmage and a preseason game, which in and of itself isn't anywhere near as important as it used to be. So take everything from last night with not even a grain of salt, with a handful of salt, a couple of shakers worth. But also, there's nothing else we have to dissect. So, of course, we're going to try to take everything we possibly can from those flashes here and there. Things like this. If you completely disregard everything that happened during the game, if you say Haynes King looked good, but he's against Arizona's scrubs, and some people would describe Arizona's starters as scrubs. So think about that. If you're just disregarding everything from the game, we can at least take away little morsels like Trevin Wallace played in the game. I thought his spot as a starting off-ball linebacker next to Devin Lloyd was pretty darn secure. But Dave Canales told us the obvious starters were not going to play in the Hall of Fame game, and Trevin Wallace did. And not only that, he played like multiple series. He was out there kind of grinding. That tells us perhaps the coaching staff's trying to send a message to him. They're trying to send like, hey, your spot's not safe. Whether it is or not, that's the message they're trying to send. Or his spot is literally not safe, and they are like open for business at the off-ball backer spot next to Devin Lloyd. So again, the on-field stuff we'll take with a grain of salt, but there were parts of last night that mattered. There were parts that you can see as at least message sending. So let's hear from Dave Canales, speaking of message sending. After the game, he spoke to the media. Here's his opening thoughts on the Hall of Fame game win over the Cardinals.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Just the back and forth of it, a really good game. Mike LaFleur, somebody that I've known for a long time, really doing a good job with that group. They ran the ball really well today. But the guys were resilient, and finish is what we talk about. Finish is what we preach as a team. We practice for these situations, end a half, end a game, put us in the best, use the timeouts, move the ball. Haynes did a fantastic job just keeping the play alive. Whatever you had to do, run it, throw it, doesn't matter. Move the chains and keep it alive. So really proud of the group, and then just got to talk about, Jonathan Cooley called the game on the defensive side today, and it was a fantastic operation, getting the calls in, appropriate calls at the right time. Really pleased with the rhythm that he had, and then Brad, same thing on the offensive side, getting the calls in early so the guys could be organized, and just a big shout out to all the coaches. We had a couple receivers show up 2 days ago, spending the whole time on the plane at the hotel for 2 days, just getting them ready to play. So really proud of the group and the way that they played our play style today.
Be happy, right? They were celebrating. It was fun. Kind of like when Haynes King scored the game winner and everybody ran down to celebrate with him, I almost felt like it was like a bit sarcastic. Like, hey! It was like laughing and celebrating. Like, that was ridiculous, but hey! I don't want, the only thing I don't like is if they didn't convert that, if they said his foot or his knee was down at the 7-inch line and it wasn't a touchdown, I think there would have been a big sway in vibes, and it really shouldn't have been. You shouldn't only be happy because Haynes King dove for the end zone there. You should be happy or upset based on what you saw. And if I'm being real, in any preseason game, I count the first quarter as if all of it's kind of fraudulent, I count the fourth quarter as way more fraudulent than the first quarter because you have the higher guys on the depth chart playing earlier, and the Panthers got better as the game went on, which is kind of like as it got less important, as fewer and fewer players that'll make your actual roster were on the field, they got better and better. So there are things you need to work on. There are things that are serious. Granted, right after the game, if you just wanted to laugh and have fun, it's football, and you have a bunch of time. I'm fine with that as well. I want to talk about the wide receiver depth a little bit here, and luckily, fortunately, Dave Canales was asked about getting value out of wide receiver depth, and this is what he said.
It's critical because you play the game with 3 wideouts for the most part, and guys rotate in and out a little bit here and there. So if a guy's coming out of a game with 10 or 12 plays, he's got to be able to contribute on special teams. Jassim was all over all the phases, returns, covering kicks, different things like that. And John Mechie got a nice return, showed something really cool there too. So Jimmy had a couple nice ones. So all these guys, they understand, the more that I can do to help the team, the better that my chances are to be able to be here on the 53 and make the team. So I love the competitions happening in the receiver room.
Okay. 2 things here. One, that is, I think, subconsciously a very, very big vote of confidence for Jassim Reed. So he caught a touchdown, right? He did the wide receiver thing. But Dave Canales gets to decide what he highlights for the depth of the wide receivers. When he's talking about who's going to make the team, and he says, if you're only playing 10 or 12 snaps, you have to be great on special teams. He could say anything. He could say, hey, if you're going to be our 5th wide receiver, our 6th wide receiver, you have to be a great blocker. Hey, if you're going to be our 5th wide receiver, our 6th wide receiver, you have to be an energy guy every single practice. If you're going to be our 5th wide receiver, 6th wide receiver, you have to show potential that perhaps down the line you could be a number 3 wide receiver. He can say whatever he wants. So the fact that he says, you're going to have to be able to help us in a bunch of different ways on special teams. Jassim Reed helped us in a bunch of different ways on special teams. It's like you get to set up the qualifications based on who's doing them, right? If you're having good vibes about Jassim Reed, you say, hey, if you're going to be our 6th wide receiver, you better be able to do, and then you list all of the things that Jassim Reed does. And then he also caught a touchdown. I think he is subconsciously like a cheesy pop song on the top charts. He's just earworming his way right into Dave Canales' brain. Can't get him out. Just walking around singing it. I don't even know if I like it yet, but I know every word. Like, that's where Jassim Reed is right now. He's just omnipresent. Secondly, and this is appropriate because he was there last night. When it comes to the more you can do, which is what Dave Canales was saying there. The more you can do. This is one of my favorite secondhand stories, okay? It's not my story, but the person who said it, there's a reason for it. Mike Pops Adams. I'm going to make sure I give the proper accreditation here because somebody had it on Twitter first. Mike Pops Adams. Joe Person had it. There you go. Joe Person of The Athletic. Mike Pops Adams, former safety for the Panthers, bunch of teams, made it to a Super Bowl, was a captain of multiple NFL teams. Former Panther safety, is with the team during training camp as part of the NFL's Bill Walsh Diversity Coaching Fellowship. That according to Joe Person of The Athletic. Mike Pops Adams played at the University of Delaware before I got there, long before I got there. But he was in the NFL as a captain starting safety when I was playing at Delaware. So every offseason he would come back and he would talk to the team and give us motivation. And he had a story that he told us every single year. I couldn't forget it if I tried to. He was trying to make the undrafted, nobody, right, coming from the FCS level. He's trying to make the team for, I think it was the Cleveland Browns when they were coached by, I think it was Eric Mangini. So we're going back a ways. And he was walking in he was there early to watch some film, and he had a cardboard cup, like a soda cup full of sunflower seeds. And he was spitting them into the cup, and he was walking down, and he's walking in 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning watching film, and somebody bumped into him, and he dropped the cup, which was like 3/4 full of sunflower, just wet, spit-filled sunflower seeds all over. And he's an undrafted rookie free agent, and he's like, this is terrible. I don't want to, so he ran real quickly. He was looking around, and he found a abandoned janitor's bucket with a broom and the little bucket that you roll around. And he just was inherently started going. And Mangini walked out into the hallway and looked at him and said, the more you can do, Pops, the more you can do. And what he meant was you have to be willing to do anything, right? And he tells the story that over that preseason, with the more you can do in his brain, every single time on a special team, somebody had to get their shoelace tied. Somebody had to was cramping. He was running out there trying to be on every single special team rep, no matter what, because the more you can do, right? Are they going to keep the guy who's a good wide receiver or a good safety, or are they going to keep the guy who's a good safety and blocks on field goal and runs down on punts and is on the hands team, and it's always that. So if I'm not saying like the wide receiver 4 is going to be decided by that. If wide receiver 7, if wide receiver 6 on the 53-man roster comes down to the more you can do, are you willing to grab a broom and clean things up? Jassim Reed seems like a guy that would be in the mix there, right? John Mechie, Jimmy Horn being a returner, I have to be real with you. Being a returner is not a. I mean, it's technically a special team. Like a tomato is a fruit. Like it's technically there, but it really doesn't fit in. That's still a glory boy position. You get to go have the ball in space and be cool and shifty. No, it's not the same as getting in there and getting run over on field goal block, and that's all you're supposed to do is get run over slowly. Jassim Reed's out there doing the real special teams yeoman's work. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm starting to like put him on my 53-man projections. I think he might be there. When we come back here on The Drive, football at 4, let's have the conversation. Let's talk Haynes King. How much did he improve his stock last night? Is he quarterback 2? Is it even a conversation? Next.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-922-1284. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284. 800-922-1284.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather. I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Hot and humid out there this afternoon. Only a small chance for thunderstorms, so heat is really our big story. We'll see a high of 92 with a heat index up around 100 or so. 73 tonight, and then we'll rinse and repeat tomorrow with a high of 92, a small chance for storms, and a heat index in the triple digits.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 147 points today to 54,032.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
Football at 4 here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan is brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. There's two ways, I guess, might be the way to describe the Haynes King phenomena that was last night. One is within the realm of what last night was. The other is in the bigger picture of what Haynes King could be for the Carolina Panthers. Within just last night, right, based on how the game started to how it finished, Haynes King was a savior of our night. Do you know who the MVPs were of the first quarter of last night's Hall of Fame preseason game?
The punters.
100% it was the punters. Both punters had a one that went out of bounds at like the 2. Shout out to Trevor Achan for not catching it. And then there was the downed inside the 5 with a little bit of a diving save from going into the end zone for Sam Martin, the punter of the Panthers. The punters were the best players in the first quarter. And by the end, it was a 30-something barn burner, and a lot of that was because Haynes King went in for Kenny Pickett and said, I've got some sauce, right? I've got some juice. Who's coming with me? So he was the savior of our night from an entertainment standpoint, which, by the way, I don't think is necessarily the end of the world for Kenny Pickett. I'll explain why in a second. But within last night, Kenny Pickett's the star. He should be at the postgame presser. He should have everybody jumping him and celebrating with him after the game. He should have Bryce Young giving him chest bumps. He should have the whole thing. He should enjoy it. I hope his family enjoyed it. I hope he got some cool pictures to put up in his den. I hope the whole thing happens for him. In the bigger picture, though, it's important for him, but it's not ground-shaking for the Panthers. He's an undrafted rookie free agent quarterback, but he's not a run-of-the-mill undrafted rookie free agent quarterback. They gave him essentially sixth-round guaranteed money. There was some maneuvering after the draft or during the draft that basically said, yeah, we are 100% making him maybe the number one priority of their seventh round and undrafted free agents. They had to give him the money. They had to compete for him. He is, I'll call him like a 7.5 round draft pick. Okay, so he's not some scrub. Secondly, it was the Hall of Fame preseason game, and he did not even start. So he wasn't even going up with the best player, going up against the best players that played in the Hall of Fame preseason game. Okay, so consider the situation. Did he look good? Yes. Would you hope that every NFL player looks good against the bottom of the bunch? Yeah, probably. So basically what I'm saying is two things can be true at the same time. It was great last night. It was fun to watch. He helped himself, but also it doesn't change anything for the planning of the Panthers, at least not yet. He is not quarterback 2. He is not the backup quarterback. He does not make Kenny Pickett expendable. And part of the reason why is just to not disrespect Kenny Pickett. Let's talk about the Kenny Pickett side of things. Kenny Pickett has won 16 games as a starter in the NFL. He is 16-11. He is above 500 considerably as a starting quarterback in the NFL. Now you may say, yeah, but the stats and, he won one game where he was, completed 80 yards of passing. Listen, I get you. I hear you. That's why he's not a starter. But there's something to be said for not losing the game when you're a backup quarterback. I want to emphasize, right? We're not grading him on the same scale we grade Bryce Young. We grade him on a backup quarterback scale. He's won 16 games in the NFL. I'm not taking one preseason solid second half and putting that over 16 wins in the NFL. Not to mention, going back to what I was saying, Haynes King showed up with some juice last night. He showed up like I'm here to be the straw that stirs the drink. I don't think that's what you want out of your backup quarterback. You want your backup quarterback to be boring. Kenny Pickett was boring last night. He was what I call hunting for completions. He was going to walk out of that game with a high completion percentage, whether he threw for 20 yards or 200 yards. He was going to complete passes, and he would take the check down, and he would hit the tight end near the line of scrimmage, and it's not going to lead to the most exciting moments in a football game, but it's also going to avoid catastrophe in a football game. Right? He's going to check down, he's going to get completions, and he's not going to lose 12 yards on a sack, and he's not going to put the ball in harm's way, and he's not going to lose it for your defense. There's a difference, and this, you see this in all sports, right? What is it? We'll go basketball real quick. Cam Thomas played at LSU. I think his name's Cam Thomas. He's averaged 24 points a game in an NBA season.
Yeah, and now he can't find himself a spot on a roster.
And it's because he's trying to fight for the 9th, 10th, 11th guy on a roster. I don't care if my 10th guy on a roster can score 24 points if he's good as a number one option. The 10th guy on the roster, I need to be really good at defense, moving the ball, rebounding, and fouling the people that I need him to foul. Shoot the three, but not that often. You need to have a role player's perspective. My backup quarterback, I don't want trying to upstage the moment. I need him trying to do the little things right every single time. because the analogy I use all the time is the backup quarterback is that little, unless it's like a developmental, like Carson Beck is not this way for Arizona because they hope he's a future starter. The little tire that you keep like under your trunk in case you have a flat, you know what I'm talking about? That's what a backup quarterback is. You put him on the car just to get you to the auto body shop. You're not going to take him up to 80 miles an hour on the highway. You're not going cross country. A backup quarterback is designed, if your starter goes out for a month, can he keep the train on the tracks? Can he win 2? Can he not lose it for your defense? Can he average less than, 2 turnovers a game? Haynes King looked good last night. He also threaded the needle into some small windows, which he did. Congratulations. I don't know if that happens against an NFL starting defense. Kenny Pickett, boring. Boring. Now, when your backup quarterback's in the game, what else do you need to have happen? You can't get diced up by Carson Beck on the other side, right? The starting defense for the Panthers, if they have to turn to their backup for 3 or 4 games, needs to play better than they were playing, meaning the backups were playing last night against Arizona. So and by the way, Kenny Pickett's getting paid $4 million. It's a $4 million cap hit this year for Kenny Pickett. He's the backup. $4 million, by the way, it's top 40 in cap hits for quarterbacks across the league. You would assume 32 starters, so he's in the top 8 for cap hit amongst quarterbacks in the NFL. Amongst backup quarterbacks in the NFL. Yeah, he's your backup. You're invested. Now, here's where it does matter for Haynes King individually last night. Even if, for the team it was moving the needle a little bit, it moved the needle a lot for Haynes King. If you want to talk about him making the 53-man roster, I think there's a much better chance now than there was previously. I think if you put Haynes King on waivers and try to sneak him back onto your practice squad, he will be claimed now. So you have to treat him differently. Every team in the NFL was watching last night. Nobody was at their other preseason games because there were no other preseason games. He's got something to him. I should remind you, in case you were unaware, everybody was saying it last night, but at the Combine, he ran a 4.46. That is flying. I know that everybody claims, the fastest kid at your high school claimed he ran a 4.4. They didn't. 4.4 at the Combine is flying. It's the 5th fastest time ever by a quarterback at the Combine. Just a hair off of Anthony Richardson. And Anthony Richardson wasn't even a good quarterback, and he got drafted in the top 5 because he was so athletic. That's where Haynes King, that's the neighborhood he exists in speed. And as I've said a bunch, he plays like a football player. He's a football player who plays quarterback. He's tough. He'll put his body on the line. He ran last night well. I think what it changes for the Panthers is up until now, if somebody had a creative thing they wanted to do with Haynes King, Dave Canales would probably tell him, don't spend any time on that. We don't know if he's going to be around. If a special teamer came up and said, hey, Coach, I'm the special teams coordinator. Haynes King, he's fast. Do you mind if I talk to him about being our personal protector on punt? Hey, do you mind if I talk to him about doing this, that, or the other as far as being a trick play guy and a special team? And we don't know if he's going to be around. Don't waste time on that. Now you might get, see if it works. Yeah, let him try. See if he's up for it. See if he'll do it. See if he can. Why? Because after that game, there's a better chance he's going to be around. And then we get back into the stuff we were talking about with wide receivers earlier. The more you can do. This is how I imagine it goes for Haynes King this year. Assuming that the wheels don't completely fall off the rest of the preseason, right? If he gets in for the fourth quarter of a couple preseason games, if he gets in for the second half of a couple preseason games, let's assume that he throws more touchdowns than interceptions, right? Just keeps the thing moving forward. I think he makes the 53-man roster, and he's very rarely active on game day, right? He's one of those handful of players that is on the active man, not on the practice squad, not eligible for other teams to come claim, but not dressing as much on game day. That's where I think he lives right now. So that's very, very good for Haynes King. It's just not that impactful for the Panthers. And then if that secondary role, if the gadgetness, the Taysom Hill of it starts becoming something they're really interested in, maybe he is active for some games. And he tries to impact the game that way. If that happens, massive win for Haynes King and potentially a little bit of impact for the Panthers on game day, which is huge from an undrafted player. But it's Kenny Pickett's quarterback too. It's gosh forbid. And if you were one that was really caught up in the moment last night and started talking about Haynes King like being the quarterback, just hopefully you woke up today rubbing your forehead like, gosh, what did I say last night? But no, it's Bryce, and it's his show for the foreseeable future, and then you'll have some really hard decisions to make after the next offseason. And then if you want to talk Haynes King for quarterback too, he could just be a really cheap option like Chris Lee of WRAL was saying earlier. But that's a year after you have a lot more information on him. That's Football at 4, brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. When we come back, we started this debate with Chris Lee and Pat Welter. We'll continue it. It's Hall of Fame weekend, so we'll have some Hall of Fame arguments coming up next.
Hey folks, Dennis Cox here real quick, my good friends over at Law Tigers. If you're ever in time of need, you want to be able to count on the people in your community that are there to support you during that time of need. And that's exactly what Law Tigers is there to do. Law Tigers was created by motorcycle riders for the motorcycle riding community when they are involved in an accident. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free. And you don't pay a dime until your case is actually settled. So if you're ever injured in a motorcycle accident, before you contact the insurance company, make sure you call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible, whereas Law Tigers, like I said, they're there to fight for you. They know what your bike is worth, they know what your gear is worth, and they understand the risks of the road. Again, your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
You pull up at a McDonald's drive-thru at the crack of dawn to get your $3 crispy chicken biscuit. You've been craving it all night. It was a very long night, but your taste buds pulled through. Those are no ordinary taste buds, and you are no ordinary human. You are a champion, and you deserve a $3 crispy chicken biscuit. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
Plenty of companies will sell you a new roof. Fewer will tell you if you actually need one. Since 1915, people across the Carolinas have trusted the Baker name to do right by their homes. Baker Home Exteriors now does roofing, siding, windows, and doors, and always honest advice. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's earned it for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors. Visit bakerhomeexteriors.com.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, 99.9 The Fan. I try to make sure, first of all, I tell you all the time to tune into our YouTube channel, mostly because I think we put out some great content there. This show, The Adam Gold Show, podcasts, short videos for special events. If you were paying attention during the World Cup, Max Gorin, who's producing the show today, was doing his World Cup, what'd you call it, World Cup Minute, but it was like 4 minutes, something like that?
There were cup updates.
Cup updates.
We may not have been able to mention the specific tournament at hand due to sponsor reasons.
That tracks. Gotta love red tape. But anyway, we are constantly cranking out content on YouTube, which is why I'm always telling you about it. But I really do turn it on a little extra right at the beginning of seasons because if you want to have the best possible football season, I believe subscribing now, you kind of catch the narratives, right? It's from my own perspective, a little frustrating when somebody finds like one video of me talking about Bryce Young and gets real mad. And I'm like, well, first of all, most of what you're saying I agree with, and there's 4,000 videos of me saying something similar. This was a specific conversation under specific questions that you're up in arms about. So I just like if you can get on board with our discussions at the beginning of a season, jump in the comment section perhaps, voice your opinion, and then you're not out of the loop later on. Granted, if you want to jump in later on as well and you want to be out of the loop, that's fine. We'd love to have all passengers at any point in time. Just right at the beginning of a season feels like a good on-ramp. So 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. Please jump in, subscribe, tell your friends, the whole thing. Now, speaking of getting at the beginning of a story, this weekend, Hall of Fame induction, right? There's Luke Kuechly, Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Roger Craig, and Adam Vinatieri. Almost forgot the kicker. Wouldn't that be appropriate? Those five are going into the Hall of Fame as like the current players. There's builders and impactors and whatever else. But the modern players going in, it's those guys. Before we do that, though, let's get in at the beginning of the story and start looking at next year's potential Hall of Fame class. I want to be on record here. I think the Hall of Fame has messed up a bunch of times. I think they were too inclusive for a while. I think they've missed changing of eras. I think they did not use all 5 spots in the Hall of Fame a couple of years ago, which was a grave mistake. And because of that, there's a real issue going on here as far as what the future looks like. So the 2026 class, as I mentioned, is Brees, Roger Craig, Larry Fitz, Kuechly, shout out to the Panthers, and Adam Vinatieri. The 2027 debate, which we should start now because this one's going to take some time, there are 3 players with local ties, and obviously that's where we're going to focus. So the question for us isn't really, who are the 5? The question is, can these 3 names, any of them, even just one of them, be a part of the 5? The 3 that are up are Torrey Holt, obviously huge connections to the area, played his college football at NC State, mostly known in the pros as a St. Louis Ram, part of the greatest show on turf. Steve Smith. Those both have been finalists in recent years, both wide receivers. Steve Smith, statistically probably the best wide receiver in Panthers history by just about every metric. He also had some really, really good seasons with Joe Flacco and the Ravens. They're both already been told no a few times. For Torrey Holt, way too many times on the ballot. Cam Newton is a first-time eligible player, so he has now been retired for 5 years as of the 2027 Hall of Fame class, which seems crazy. Seems like he was playing just yesterday. But Cam Newton, NFL MVP, will be on the ballot. Here's where the NFL has themselves in a real pickle. Torrey Holt should have been in. Jason Witten should have been in. Frank Gore should have been in. Eli Manning should have been in. Reggie Wayne should have been in. All of these players have been on ballots for at least 1 year, some of them for a bunch of years, and did not get in, including years where they didn't use all of the slots. You're allowed to put in 5 each year. They did not put in 5 every year. So you could have slid those guys in years past. Because they are not in, you already have 5, 6, 7 worthy names before you add the first-time eligibles. First-time eligibles, as I mentioned, Cam Newton, Perhaps the greatest tight end of all time, Rob Gronkowski. One of the inner circle best running backs of all time, Adrian Peterson. A multiple-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger, to go with a multiple-time Super Bowl winning quarterback, Eli Manning, who's waiting his turn. A 4 or 5-time first-team All-Pro corner, Richard Sherman. Maybe the best 5 or 6 year run that a wide receiver has ever had, Antonio Brown. Granted, he's had some fireworks in the meantime. Those are all first-time eligibles. So they put yourself, and there's others. There's Willie Anderson. There's Marshall Yanda. There's offensive linemen. There's others that are in there. But here's the deal. Here's what we have a year to decide. And by we, I mean the voters, but we can decide what we think they should do. You have to pick 5 names, and you can't put more. 5 names out of, I'm just going to read all the names I've read already. Pick 5 out of Torrey Holt, Steve Smith, Cam Newton, Gronk, Adrian Peterson, Witten, Frank Gore, Eli, Big Ben, Richard Sherman, Reggie Wayne, Marshall Yanda, Antonio Brown, Willie Anderson. That's insane. That's insane. Max, we talked about it a little bit earlier. I don't know if I told you, like, hey, have your 5.
No, I have my 5.
Okay, perfect. I want to hear them.
My 5 are Torrey Holt, Steve Smith Sr., Rob Gronkowski, Adrian Peterson, and Ben Roethlisberger.
Okay, I have some questions. Steve Smith getting in before the other wide receivers waiting, Reggie Wayne especially.
Well, it's hard for me to find a conclusive list of everybody who was not first-year eligible but was, like, snubbed
this past
as far
year.
as getting in so far.
Okay, Roethlisberger over Eli?
I probably would still co-sign that, even though I was not really a fan of either, but particularly not a fan of Ben Roethlisberger personally.
The issue I have is if I pick who I think are my actually, let me rewind because we were talking Ben versus Eli. I think putting Ben in over Eli is not necessarily the only way to say Ben is better than Eli or Ben is more deserving than Eli. Eli's now already waited 2 turns. Ben Roethlisberger going in first ballot feels rich for me. I think if Eli goes in now, you're saying he's a 3rd ballot Hall of Famer. You could put Big Ben in next year and say he's a 2nd ballot Hall of Famer, which is better than Eli. It's just a different time of like their careers ended different years. The issue I have is I think most of the deserving players are at positions where they don't like to put in multiples at the same time. Unless they're like super duper obvious, unless they're, I don't even know if this has happened, but like Tim Brown and Jerry Rice, unless they're, Randy Moss and T.O., unless they're like 2 of the top 5 of all time at a position, they really don't like to double up. And I think that's why we have this log jam at wide receiver. You got Larry Fitzgerald going in this year, Torrey Holt, Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, Antonio Brown, and there's more that are like kicking around the what is it, like Hines Wards of the world that just they're going to get swallowed up. Andre Johnson went in or is still on the list. There's like too many wide receivers. So I almost think they need to have a year where they put like 3 wide receivers in just to catch up. Because I mentioned they got their eras wrong. For years, they were making wide receivers wait because they felt like their stats were fraudulent because they were in a pass-happy era. So it was like, oh, but you were a part of a Kurt Warner offense, Torrey Holt. Those stats are fraudulent. And now we've been in a pass-happy era for 20 years, and his stats still hold up as incredible. And we're like, oh, he should have been in, shouldn't he?
It turns out their offense was the greatest show on turf because those guys were all really good, not because there was just a lot of passing offense in the game.
Steve Smith, it's like for whatever reason, his contemporaries, like the Chad Ocho Cincos and everything, it's like, well, no, Steve Smith's stats still hold up better than them, right? And he should have been in, but he's not now. So you have all these deserving wide receivers. I want to put 5 in this year just to catch up because you were dumb for 20 years, but it's not going to happen. So like who I think should get in and who I think will get in are very, very different. Same thing with tight ends. There are very few tight ends in the Hall of Fame. Gronk and Jason Witten should be in the Hall of Fame. Jason Witten, statistically, is the 2nd best receiving tight end of all time. It's Tony Gonzalez and it's Jason Witten. Well, from pure volume, right? Ton of catches, insane amount of yards. I think he's like 5th in touchdowns, but he's top 2 in the others. Good blocking tight end. Like, Jason Witten should be in. Rob Gronkowski, at his peak, may have been the best tight end in the history of the game.
He's getting in next year.
They
first
both
ballot.
should. My perfect Hall of Fame class would probably be 3 receivers and 2 tight ends. Now, there's going to be someone on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to happen. You didn't have one in yours. But
yeah, I didn't pick any defenders. I'm fine with kicking Ben Roethlisberger out of the list, by the way.
Probably Richard Sherman, which doesn't feel right, but they're not going to have a weekend of celebrating the NFL and not have somebody that tried to stop offenses. So it's probably Richard Sherman there.
I think Gronkowski and Adrian Peterson are pretty much
I have both of them on both of my lists as well.
Maybe
as far
lock
as what I
is
think will happen.
Maybe lock is a strong word, but they feel very, very likely to be first ballot inductions next year.
I don't think both Steve Smith and Torrey Holt get in.
I think Torrey Holt's not going to get in because they've already not put him in a bunch of times, and I think they're going to continue to do that.
If Torrey Holt doesn't get in, I don't think any of the local guys get in. I don't think Steve Smith gets in because he's behind some guys in the waiting list. I don't think Torrey Holt gets in because they've made him wait this long. He's almost like gone from the front of the line back to the back of the line. I don't think Cam Newton gets in because he's super polarizing. And
it's going to be hard for him to get in general, let alone in the first ballot, just because
Correct.
of all the narratives that surround him. And he didn't have the longest career either.
Correct.
But, I mean, his peak is undeniably like one of the greatest we've seen. But, if not for that injury.
The hard part is this, and this is my argument for Cam Newton, and I've had a few of these. If Eli Manning is taking a while to get in because he played a long time and he compiled stats, because he's like top 10 in most passing stats all time, but you acknowledge, his peak wasn't high enough, right? He was never all-pro. He was never MVP. He was never the best quarterback. How often was he top 5, top 10 in the NFL? If that's your argument against Eli, that has to be your argument for Cam. Cam was an MVP of the league with Ted Ginn as his number 1 wide receiver.
No, I'm saying, like, in a perfect world, I think Cam Newton should get in. I just don't think that he will, or at least obviously not first ballot. When you talk about some of these names that we've mentioned that have either already been snubbed or that are coming up for eligibility next year, it's hard to see a path for him getting in. And then every year, too, there's more names that pop up that are like, oh, well, this guy is so deserving, like he can't be left out. And that's how these guys end up getting left behind, like Reggie Wayne, like probably Steve Smith for likely a 3rd year. Again, like you look at Steve Smith and the 2005, the Triple Crown season coming off that injury, like that's one of the best wide receiver seasons there's been. But, you don't get in that first time. Again, all these new names come up.
Yep.
And the fact that it's limited
issue
to...
is they've waited too long for wide receivers, so now they keep getting jumped by the Adrian Petersons of the world. They keep getting leapfrogged, and it's like suddenly you look around and you're like, how long has Torrey Holt been waiting?
A long time.
We only intended to have him waiting a year or two, but there's always somebody that's like, oh, we'll get you next year. Oh, we'll get you next year. Oh, we'll get you next year. And then suddenly it's like, oh, we've waited too long.
And you mentioned, too, like maybe they feel a need like, we can't put 5 offensive guys all in the same class. Like we got to get somebody in from the defensive side of the ball. And then if you're one of these offensive players, all of a sudden you're kind of slipping through the cracks again. And you're waiting and waiting and waiting. And at some point, maybe you're just not going to get in.
Rob Gronkowski, Adrian Peterson, I think are first ballots, and they should be. I think somebody from the defensive side of the ball gets in. I'm putting Richard Sherman there as a placeholder, like that's the representative defensive player. That leaves 2 spots for Steve Smith, Torrey Holt, Cam Newton, Jason Witten, Frank Gore, Eli Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, Reggie Wayne, Marshall Yanda, and Antonio Brown, amongst others.
I think Reggie Wayne should be one of the 2 in that case.
I think there's a wide receiver out of the group. I hope it's Torrey Holt. I would predict it's Reggie Wayne. All of the arguments against Torrey Holt are also against Reggie Wayne, right? Torrey Holt wasn't the best wide receiver on his team. That was Isaac Bruce. Reggie Wayne wasn't the best wide receiver on his team. It was Marvin Harrison, except for the years where Reggie Wayne and Torrey Holt were better than Isaac Bruce and Marvin Harrison, which there were years where they were. Longevity, they had great quarterbacks. Yeah, both. But for some reason, Reggie Wayne seems to have more positive press. So I'll put Reggie Wayne in as a prediction, even though I hope that's Torrey Holt. Then there's one spot. I think they might go Witten. But the 2 tight end thing's probably saying no. They might go quarterback. It could be Eli's year. I don't think Frank Gore gets in because of Adrian Peterson. They probably go quarterback, and not only that, they need, they think of box office. You need a quarterback to bring the crowds. At Michael Strahan's Hall of Fame induction, Eli got the biggest applause of anybody there. It was that. So I hate this class, but it's Gronk, Adrian Peterson, Eli, Richard Sherman, and Reggie Wayne. And it feels like you're kicking a bunch of guys that are more deserving into the future, but that's how I'm going with it. If I got to choose, it would be Torrey Holt, Steve Smith, Reggie Wayne, Rob Gronkowski, Adrian Peterson. That's a lie. Take out Steve Smith, put in Jason Witten. Steve Smith gets in next year. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If you have a different opinion, you'll have plenty of time to let us know. 99.9 The Fan. You can go to our YouTube, jump in the comments, at Donnelly Sports on Twitter, however you want to get to us. But that's for next year. We got a year to sort that out. We have a day to sort out if you're going to make it to the HighSchoolOT Jamboree. Tomorrow, First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park is the location for a HighSchoolOT, as in HighSchoolOT.com. If you don't know it, check it out. Jamboree. The Jamboree is 5 football scrimmages, high school football scrimmages. But don't think about it as a high school football scrimmage. Think about it as a place to see the next college star, a place to see potentially an NFL star down the way. Like, that's how good the schools that they are including actually are.
Well, think about the Hall of Fame game last night, too. That's just kind of your appetizer to get into the season. Ended up being a really thrilling game, and the same prospect applies for the HighSchoolOT Jamboree.
The scrimmages will take place at 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 5 scrimmages. The teams are in order, starting with the 5 o'clock game. Hunt High School versus Union Pines High School. J.H. Rose versus Rollsville. Southeast Raleigh versus Wake Forest. Cardinal Gibbons versus Millbrook. That is a heavyweight fight. Southern Durham versus Middle Creek. Quickly here, and if you don't catch every name or every recruiting ranking or every commitment that I'm about to read you, that's fine. Part of what I'm doing here is just to show volume, right? Like, if somebody just reads a list and you zone out and you have a long conversation with yourself and then you come back and they're still on the list, you're like, oh, there's a lot. That's a long list, right? That's kind of what I'm doing here, just to show you the pure volume. These are the players that I confirmed earlier today on the recruiting websites. These are the players that are rising juniors or seniors that are playing in the Jamboree scrimmages, high school football, that are, I would say, top 60 in their position in the country, and are committed to play big-time college football, or have a billion offers to do so. Rashad Streets, edge rusher, Millbrook. He is a 5-star. He is a top 25 recruit in the country for the class of 2027. We'll start with all the seniors. He's the 4th-rated edge rusher in the country. He's committed to Oregon. Xavier Hassan, cornerback, Cardinal Gibbons, top 50 recruit in the country, 4-star, committed to Notre Dame. Quentin Cipher, linebacker, Millbrook, 4-star, top 250 recruit in the country, top 20 linebacker in the country, committed to play at Ohio State. Jaden Brody, edge rusher, Rollsville, 4-star, top 30 edge rusher in the country, committed to South Carolina. Amir Brown, running back, Rollsville, 4-star, top 30 running back in the country. He's going to Nebraska. Marquise Bryant, safety, Rollsville. I'm going to speed this up even. 3-star, 43rd ranked safety in the country, going to Kentucky. Anthony Roberts, wide receiver, Rollsville, 3-star, top 60 wide receiver in the country. He's going to Virginia Tech. Cairo Williams, safety, Millbrook, 3-star. He's a top 53. He's number 53, safety in the country. Has offers from Louisville, Michigan State, Wisconsin, SMU, Duke, amongst many others. Jonathan Dillon, wide receiver, Southern Durham, 3-star, top 80 wide receiver in the country. He's going to Duke. Lance Henderson, athlete, Southern Durham, 3-star, top 50 athlete in the country, going to Duke. Josiah Sturdivant, edge rusher, Wake Forest, 3-star, number 60 edge rusher in the country, going to Rutgers. Christian Freeman, running back, Southeast Raleigh. He is a NC State commit, Wolfpack fans, 60th running back in the country. Kamari Holloway, running back, South Durham. He's going to ECU. Shout out to the Pirates. 69th running back in the country, 3-star. Griffin Cockerham, Fantastic name for a tight end. Cardinal Gibbons, 3-star, top 50 at his position in the country. He's going to NC State. To the junior class, Grayson Williams, ready for this? 46th overall in the country, second-rated interior offensive lineman in the country. He has offers from, Alabama, Florida, Florida State, Duke, Colorado, amongst many others. Skylar Alston, linebacker. I'm almost done, but not quite. Cardinal Gibbons, 4-star, top 200 recruit in the country, top 17 linebacker in the country. His offers, Alabama, Auburn, Cal, Duke, amongst many others. Asaya Brown, cornerback, Rollsville, 70th cornerback in the country for his class. 3-star, offers, Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Missouri, Duke, amongst many others. They're all playing tomorrow. You don't have to catch them all. Just know pretty much every game you go to, there's going to be somebody who has already guaranteed themselves a shot at the big time in major college football. 5 games, countless future college players. Yeah. Some of them from the schools that you support, the NC States, the Dukes, the ECUs, and some spurning the local schools to go for some of the biggest programs in the country. Ohio State, Notre Dame, Oregon, amongst many others.
Yeah. I've got all these offers. I could go to NC State or Duke, but, maybe I'll just go to Oregon or Ohio State. It's going to be jam-packed. This is actually not the only Jamboree high school OT is going to have as well. So I've got the one tomorrow at Wake Med Soccer Park. That's going to be the bigger one. It's obviously a bigger venue. 10,000 seats there at First Horizon Stadium, so everybody can kind of spread out.
But don't bank on that. Get your tickets.
Yes, definitely get your tickets. Definitely get your tickets ahead of time if you're interested in attending. That's going to be a good one. And then we're going to see a lot of the same teams in the next Jamboree, which is next Friday. That is at Wake Forest High School at Trentini Stadium is their home stadium. So if you're not able to make it to the one tomorrow, which I think is kind of maybe the more main event type of deal with the big venue and everything, there will be another opportunity next week. But these events are a really good opportunity to check out some of the top talent in the state before the season officially gets underway. And sharing the office with Joel and Ben and everyone from High School OT, we know how hard they work in setting this thing up and trying to make it a big time exhibition event to showcase the talent and how much work they put into it. So if you're interested in high school football, definitely get out there and see some of the biggest talent of the future, because some of them we may be seeing them for years to come on your TV screens and in your NFL and college stadiums.
And not to skim over Saturdays, but next Fridays, somebody that might be talking to you right now, that might be me, might be doing the coin toss. The coin toss of honor. I don't know if that's what they call it, but I'm taking it as an honor for that Friday Jamboree next week. So I'll be out there. Come say hi, debate me, and we'll watch some great high school football.
I think we thinking heads or tails. I know you. I guess you got to be unbiased, but
have I told you my coin toss rules?
What are your rules?
Okay, this is the nerdiest thing that I'm going to tell. It's a personal story, but it's a Friday, so I'm going to indulge myself. This is a story 100% for me. So 3 times in my career, going back to Pop Warner, 3 years I've been a captain. There was 1 year on JV, 1 year on varsity in high school, and 1 year in college. I have never, as the speaking captain, lost a coin toss. Now, it wasn't always me, right? We early on, we'd rotate with the other captains. Do you know what I did every single time? It was not a tails never fail situation. It was not I always call heads. It was not, day games heads. I would find somebody on our team who was injured and was not suiting up. Somebody with a cast, somebody on crutches, somebody who was injured and not suiting up, and I would say, put all the energy you have into picking heads or tails. And I would tell them on Wednesday for a Friday game or, early in the week for a Saturday college game. And I'd come back to them on game day and I'd go, what you got for me? And they'd give me heads or tails. I would not argue whatever they say. I'd roll with it, and I never got it wrong. I think I ended up being 12 for 12, which statistically is impossible. That doesn't happen. So I don't know what it's going to be, heads or tails. Ask somebody who broke their foot. That's always my response to that. That's the only way they can help the team. So they really, channel it, if you will. So with that being said, I don't know who's hurt for these teams, but that's who I would ask. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Calshi. The season, I guess it has started now, although not really. But it has, because you can trade on preseason. So the season has kicked off, and everyone's already making their predictions. Who wins the division? Who makes the playoffs? Who's lifting the trophy? Who wins each preseason game? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions in a live market. Or perhaps you want to trade where you believe in one of the young stars for Carolina. Tedero McMillan, to lead the NFL in receiving yards this year, is trading at less than 1%. Which means a $100 trade would pay out just under $3,500 if he does it. But that's not the only way you can get paid. On Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position, which means you can trade on Tedero McMillan to lead the NFL in receiving yards. If he has a $160 week 1 and you go, yeah, I'm not as confident anymore, but the probability's gone way up, you can trade right out of it, take that profit and go, or keep it right where it is and say, great start. He's going to do it. That's up to you. You can trade a draft pick. You can trade a game. You can trade awards and more on Kalshi. Download the Kalshi app right now and use code TIMD. That's TIMD at sign up to get $500, up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. KALSHI, Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event conduct trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory. Gambling problems, call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. When we come back, one of our favorite segments of the week, Real Bold Predictions. Stick around.
Hey, Carolina Panthers fans, it's Dennis Cox from 99.9 The Fan. For all the inside information on your team, join me and my co-host, WRAL TV's Chris Lee, for our podcast, Panthers Playbook, presented by Wake Orthopedics. In every episode, we'll keep you up to date on your Panthers, and we'll do it with access only we can provide. Locker room insight, exclusive interviews, and in-depth looks from training camp as the regular season approaches. Follow and subscribe to Panthers Playbook wherever you discover your favorite podcasts or watch on YouTube.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar. The better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. So good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
Stop by Refuel and get 25 cents off per gallon when you buy 2 20-ounce Pepsi Zero Sugars with Refuel Rewards.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. We do it all. In fact, we see patients within 48 hours for everything from sports injuries, spine care, and joint replacement to minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, pediatrics, and more. Visit us today at wakemed.org and get back your life.
Experience legendary craftsmanship with an Omega timepiece. From the iconic Speedmaster that journeyed to the moon to the sleek Seamaster made famous by the world's most stylish spy, Omega watches are built for precision, adventure, and timeless elegance. At Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District, explore a curated selection of Omega timepieces that speak to your legacy. Whether you're starting a collection or adding your next chapter, find your perfect fit at Bailey's, voted best jeweler. Visit BaileyBox.com to learn more.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. All right, we did not match energy coming out of that break because I'm ready to get launched into full steam ahead mode for some real bold predictions, and instead we're vibing on a Friday. So we're gonna have to pick up the energy here and get things rolling for real bold predictions. Huh? There they go. The way this works is I will make what I feel are bold predictions. But in most places in sports media, I could say anything, right? They do their bold predictions segment, and I say something like, Tedero McMillan's going to catch 2 touchdowns or more this year. And everybody goes, oh, bold. And then when it happens, I brag about being right with a bold prediction, when in actuality, there was nothing bold about it. So we've installed the checks and balances system. The way it works, I'll make a prediction that I think is bold, and I will either hear the bold enough bell or the not bold enough buzzer. If I get the buzzer, I have to change it on the spot until I get the bell. You'll catch on. We'll start with some Panthers, just because it makes sense, right? These are kind of season-long deals. Not Tedero McMillan catching 2 or more touchdowns. Jasim Reed catches 2 or more touchdowns. Caught one last night. Preseason counts. No, I'm kidding. They don't. I think there's a second half of the year, there is a pretty big opening at wide receiver 3 for the Carolina Panthers. I think they will give Xavier Legette every opportunity to secure that spot. The issue being, if he doesn't, somebody else can go ahead and take it. And Jasim Reed is starting to give like Coker a few years ago vibes, which is coaches are almost itching to give him more opportunities. So week 9, maybe they start working him into those 3 wide receiver sets a little bit more, and 2 touchdowns over the second half of the year. I think that can happen. How about this one? The 3rd leading rusher on the Carolina Panthers is not currently on the roster. Really?
Actually, that is. I was
going to say, I don't know how to make that more bold. I think that's
it
pretty
is.
bold.
Sorry, I completely I twisted my mind into a pretzel there.
I think obviously Chuba and Jonathan Brooks are 1 and 2. I think there's a decent chance like Bryce Young is number 3. But if not, I know some people are really excited about A.J. Dillon. I don't see it. Trevor Achane did not look fantastic yesterday. Miles Davis, I don't even know who that, I thought Miles Davis played the trumpet until he was breaking into the open field last night. There's a hodgepodge of runners. I think they're probably going to grab a veteran over the next month, or even somebody who gets cut from a team that has a little bit more depth, gets waived, and they claim off the waiver wire a running back. Zonovan Knight is technically the 5th running back for the Arizona Cardinals. I liked the burst he showed and the vision he showed last night better than any run I saw from the Panthers last night.
Bam Knight is a baller. People around here know.
That's what I'm saying. So, bring him home. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Or somebody like that. There's a 5th-string running back for another team who's going to be waived that I think could be the 3rd leading rusher for the Panthers. Let's go back to our Hall of Fame debate. Torrey Holt makes the Hall of Fame next year. That's got to be bold. I think at some point everybody's just going to get sick of it. They're all going to get together and say, let's put him in. 3 wide receivers going to the Hall of Fame next year. I'll throw that one in. Definitely not going to happen. Definitely bold. Thank you. I desperately want that. I'm just trying to put that into the energy. Just get caught up. And also, do you know who else is going to go into the Hall of Fame next year? We didn't even talk about this one. Different category. Almost certainly Bill Belichick. I hope they put Rob Gronkowski and Bill Belichick speeches back to back. It'll be like the Tom Brady roast right over again. College football bold predictions for the season, as they are all 3 in the triangle are now into camp. Duke has been they've started their camp since the last time we did real bold predictions. We'll start with UNC. Miles O'Neal starts for them game 1. Was there a single quarterback that I could say there that wouldn't be bold?
Maybe Burgess, the kid who's just coming off the ACL injury, right?
That would be very bold. He's the true freshman as well, but he is supposedly the most hyped, the most talented, highest ranked, all that. Miles O'Neal, he got the first team reps on day 1, and I think that matters. Also, he has a history with Bobby Petrino from Texas A&M, so maybe he brings some familiarity there. But really, that's all just going off of who was reportedly getting the first rep in drills, the first practice. I think that matters more than you think. How about this from UNC? Jordan Shipp, 1,000 or more receiving yards. He had just under 700 last year, and they were not good. I'm not saying they're going to be as a team a ton better, I think Ship is still very good, and I think even on a bad team, Bobby Petrino can play call up one guy to be impactful enough to be like the fifth best wide receiver in the ACC. Like, I'm not saying best, but he could be like 7, something like that. NC State, Harvey Dyson, 8 or more sacks. I'm going to put my hand up on this one. I have something to do with this. We need to start talking about the defense of NC State more. Every single conversation for State that I have, and this is with fans, this is what people are asking me, this is the ones we have on air, it turns into how awesome is CJ Bailey.
I think a lot of that has to do with the defense was just not very, very good last year. It was a tough year on the defensive side of the ball, but that could mean they're due for a bounce back.
But also, like, CJ Bailey was very good last year, and it didn't matter because the defense was, like, you have to talk about the defense more, or else you could have a real, like, a good offense is wasted again. Even if JoJo Trader is good and Davion Goss is good and, Keenan Jackson and all these guys ball out, they still need a defense. So Harvey Dyson, incoming transfer from Tulane. He had 8 sacks at Tulane. I'm going for at least that many this year. And to build off what I was just saying with the offense, I think State could be ahead more because of how good CJ Bailey is and what their schedule is. And an edge rusher, like a linebacker edge hybrid that really rushes the quarterback, should be able to pin their ears back and go get them when you have a lead. So Harvey Dyson, 8 or more sacks. For Duke, let's go to another one. Kevin O'Connor, 8 or more sacks for Duke. Duke is a program, and I said this earlier this week, they seem to be one of the few programs in the country that truly, truly have not let the transfer portal impact how they see individual player development at all. Most teams are like, I hope you get better, but if not, I'm going to go recruit someone to take the spot, right? I'm going to go get a transfer from somewhere else that is ready for that job. Duke, they've got projects, meaning like they have players that have been in the program 3 or 4 years and haven't done much who break out or who finally put it all together. Kevin O'Connor hasn't done a ton, but any kind of what I call state-owned propaganda, any kind of the videos or behind the scenes or articles that are coming from Duke media sources, like their own people, are hyping the heck out of Kevin O'Connor as a guy who's like breaking records in the weight room, big, tall, strong, fast, edge rusher, defensive end. There's reps there available on that defense. So I threw 8 out there because that feels like it was enough to be bold, but not so crazy that it was like impossible. So Kevin O'Connor, 8 or more sacks for Duke, ends up being my bold prediction for the edge rusher. And that would be really good for Duke because that means they're playing from ahead. There's not many people that are high on Duke this year, which is crazy. They're the defending ACC champs.
Yeah, obviously they lost, some very talented offensive players, but I think a lot of their success can also be attributed to the coaching job that Manny Diaz has done coming back. So
I'm going to be clear on this. I think Darian Mensah is a very good quarterback. He was not Joe Montana mixed with Tom Brady last year. Like, there were games that he did not play great. And they were still either in those games or sometimes won those games because of what everybody else was doing. Granted, they did lose Chandler Rivers. They did lose Brian Parker. They did lose Vincent Anthony Jr. They did lose Wesley Williams. They did lose Terry Moore. Like, they did lose a lot of other guys. But if you believe what I said about Duke, where they're depending on development, they'll have players that they've been working with and developing over the last 2 or 3 years that are ready to step up into those jobs. One of them, Kevin O'Connor. So we'll see. We will see. But those are my bold predictions for today. Go ahead and dismiss. You've gone a little. I'm not complaining, Max. You've gone a little softer since the first times you did this.
Yeah, it was all bells on that one, except for the one where I confused myself and I accidentally buzzed it. But
it used to be like I would be here pleading my case for a while. You've lightened up. You've gone soft. Wonder what's up. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is almost 5 o'clock on a Friday, everybody. It is almost starting 5 time. Back after this.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
It's disgusting. It's annoying. If a billionaire tells you, hey, I just bought another yacht, are you like, wow, amazing, way to go? You're like, cool, rub it in. I don't have air conditioning. I don't think this is fun for other fans around Major League Baseball. The Dodgers can get anybody they want, and the worst part about this is a lockout is all but signed, sealed, delivered.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm Sam, owner of Marino's Landscape. With my Chase Inc. Business Premier Card, I earn unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything I buy to run my landscaping business gives me cash back to help throw a big thank you party for my team. For all they do.
Chase Inc. Cashback built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
With over $110 million in total prizes, new scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are dazzling the crowd. Get quick wins from Hit 50, Cash, Loteria Grande, and The Star. Massive cash blowout, bursting with $150, $300, and $3,000 prizes. Play and watch your luck shine. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.86 to 9.37. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
My car is making this noise. Sometimes it's like doot doot, and sometimes it's like grrr.
Do you have a dash light on?
Oh yeah.
And we don't have to listen for clues. With the free Fix Finder service, we can read a check engine, ABS, or maintenance light to find the likely fix and even recommend a local shop if you need one.
So you don't need to hear the grrr.
Not with Fix Finder. Free at every AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. It's a nice Friday night out there. Temperatures will gradually start to drop, but our lows only 74 under partly cloudy skies. Saturday, it's partly cloudy with a high of 93. That'll feel more like 100 with the humidity and a small chance of an evening storm.
5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones closes the day up 151 points to 54,036. This hour of the drive is brought to you by Law Tigers. Injured in a motorcycle accident? Call Law Tigers before you call your insurance company. Case evaluations are always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly. I'm Tim Donnelly, and it's time for the starting five, which is brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. We do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. That's the Baker name, Baker Home Exteriors, bakerhomeexteriors.com. It is, as of right now, literally on the dot, it is 5 o'clock, so congratulations. You've made it, assuming you work a Monday through Friday 9 to 5 job. You've made it to the weekend. Thank you for starting your weekend with us. Let's jump into the starting five. As always, we start with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The NFL continues to pay people large amounts of money. Jahmyr Gibbs has received a contract extension. He received it agreed upon yesterday, made official today. The deal makes him the highest paid running back in NFL history on a per-year basis. Gibbs and the Lions reached an agreement. 3 years, $67.5 million deal. Could be worth $75.75 million. It includes $51.5 million guaranteed. Kind of hilarious. Do you know why? It's like $250,000 more in most categories, more than Bijan Robinson, who signed his a couple days before. It's almost like the Lions and Jahmyr Gibbs representation simply said, we'll just chill and wait. We'll trust Bijan and his representation to get the most possible, and we'll just add on a little bit, and we'll go from there. And it worked out perfectly. It worked out perfectly. But what it also is it's a sign that running backs are being valued a bit more. You know, for years. I mean, there was a point in time where drafting a running back in the first round was like not even a thought, right? The highest drafted guy would be a second rounder, late second, and that felt normal. Now you have Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs drafted in the top half of the first round, and both are getting paid historic deals before their rookie contracts are even up. So NFL changing a bit there. Speaking of guys getting paid, it's not just running backs, also offensive guards. Bills, Osiris Torrance, 4 years, $78.4 million, 46 of it guaranteed. And there's more where that came from. What is it? Skaronski, I believe, with the, let me spell it correctly here. For the Titans, standout guard. How about this? 4 years, $100 million with 88 guaranteed. These are guards. These aren't blindside protectors. Remember the movie? They showed us why the left tackle was worth so much more. The offensive guards in the last 3 years, I don't know if any position has glowed up more as far as the importance of them in NFL football. But if you were a guard back in the day, it meant your arms were too short to be a tackle. If you're a guard now, you might be one of the 3 or 4 highest paid players on your team. That's insane. And you know why, right? You know why, right? Everything's a reaction in the NFL. What did the best teams in the NFL have last year? The 2 teams that made the Super Bowl, Seattle, New England, 2 of the best examples. What did they have? Great interior defensive lines. If the best teams have great interior defensive lines, the other teams are going to react by paying to have really good interior offensive lines. Got to fight fire with fire. Which leads me to my last bit of NFL news here for number 5 at the starting 5. Sean McVay, head coach of the Rams, who are the overwhelming betting favorite to win the Super Bowl, said yesterday he doesn't have an answer for whether Aaron Donald will come out of retirement this season, but added the All-Pro defensive tackle looked outstanding during his workout with the team on Tuesday. He also said that it was kind of a semantics thing that they had to register it as a official workout because Aaron Donald wanted to work out using their equipment and their machines, and you can't have a player who is not on your roster use your equipment unless you register it as like a tryout workout. So it was a little bit of that going on. I'm going to make this argument one more time. I might make it 10 more times, but I'm definitely doing it right now. What Aaron Donald is doing is the most egregious form of super team hunting that we've seen. And if you get mad when players jump with their friends to make super teams in the NBA, you should be way more mad at Aaron Donald, because he's not choosing between like playing on a bad team or playing on the super team. He's completely just at home, hanging out, watching games on Sunday, and is saying, no, I'll do the work, but only if I'm next to Myles Garrett and I have the MVP on offense and I have this guy, and like, imagine if LeBron said, I'm going to retire unless I play for the Thunder. That's kind of what Aaron Donald's doing. I think we need to address that. Just because we like Aaron Donald, everybody's way more cool about it. He's less polarizing.
Yeah, but we were talking about Hall of Fame earlier. If he comes back, he's got to wait another. It's like Phillip Rivers. He's got to wait another 5 years to even be considered to get into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but for him, like, for Phillip Rivers, probably as well. But what's the difference between being named, like, if he jumps on this show, I'm either introducing him as a Hall of Famer or a future Hall of Famer. Like, it's already assumed. So what's another couple years waiting? You know what I mean? For the guys that might not get in, they want to be a Hall of Famer because we don't introduce them as future Hall of Famers. That's number 5. Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4 all together.
You have no idea what intro sound to play for this one.
I have no idea.
No clue. How about dodge, duck, dick, dive, and dodge? ESPN The Ocho is going on right now. ESPN once a year, which, by the way, this is the 10th anniversary of ESPN The Ocho. A decade. Feels like it's brand new. Once a year, ESPN turns over their channels to turning into ESPN The Ocho from the movie Dodgeball. And it just features all of, I don't even know if they're sports, all of the activities that are not normally featured. Right now, they have dodgeball, literal dodgeball going on, but they've had cornhole, Pop-A-Shot. Adam was telling me, Adam Gold from the Adam Gold Show airs before this one on 99.9, The Fan, was telling me they had donk tossing, which is a...
I have not heard of that.
Neither had I. He was watching donk tossing, which is you toss like a little bit sturdier than a pool blow up, but an inflatable that looks like a donkey. And you have to toss it onto a little mat and have it land on its feet or its feet and nose. It can't be on its side or back. And you get points based on that. So they range from like almost sports, like dodgeball, to absolutely not sports, like darts and donk tossing.
Yeah, I just looked it up on donk toss.
Adam tried to explain it to me. I felt like I was in a fever dream.
The like line on Google when you look it up, it says donk toss as seen on ESPN The Ocho. Yes, it's a real sport.
It's an activity. It's a game.
But you can buy kits and then you can play at home.
It sounded like something that would happen. Kids, don't drink until you're of age. Adults, drink responsibly. It sounds like something me and my buddies, if we were having a couple sarsaparillas, might come up with accidentally and then spend the rest of our night like competing in, right? Like you're sitting in the backyard on the deck having a drink and somebody like throws a pine cone at a stump and it lands on top of the stump and you're like, all right, everybody gets 10 throws. Whoever has the most pine cones landing on the stump wins. And by the end of the night, you have like a 7-game series going. You have a whole bracket. Like that's kind of what the Ocho is. It's just a whole bunch of stuff that seems like it started that way. And you go from there. But I appreciate it. I like to compete in everything. Right now we're watching USA, Canada, and dodgeball. USA better win. That's got to be something we take pride in.
You can get a official Donk Pro tournament kit for $199.99.
I will not, but
I really want to play now.
More power to them. It's the. This is I think it was. It was a long time ago, but I think it was on the All the Smoke podcast, the Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson podcast, trying to give my credits where it should be. But Kobe Bryant was on it. And Kobe talked about the difference between his competition and Michael Jordan's competition, like their competitive spirits. And he said the difference was Kobe only wanted to compete in things he knew he would win. He's like, I would work so hard at basketball. I'd work so hard at something to be the best. And then I'm competing. He's like, Michael will compete at anything. Like if you walk up to him and say, like, I bet you I can sit down in this chair faster. He's like, done, did it, won. What's next? Michael Jordan would love ESPN The Ocho. Just, I want to try everything, right? I'm competitive in everything. Obviously, I'm not Michael Jordan's level. Nobody is, but I'm kind of that. Like if we play darts, we're probably not friends for about 10 minutes after we're done. Like if we play dodgeball, I want headshots to be allowed. Like let's play if we're gonna play. Shout out to the Ocho. That is number 4. How about number 3?
I feel great about playing football right now.
We've been looking forward to it for a long time, but the High School OT Jamboree finally here tomorrow. High School OT is throwing a high school football jamboree. It's 5 scrimmages, kind of preseason games-ish, for high school football teams from around the area, around the state. At 5 p.m. tomorrow, Hunt versus Union Pines. 6 p.m., J.H. Rose, these are high schools, versus Rollsville. 7 p.m., Southeast Raleigh versus Wake Forest. 8 p.m., Cardinal Gibbons versus Millbrook. 9 p.m., Southern Durham versus Middle Creek. They will all be located First Horizon Stadium at Wake Med Soccer Park. So it's a soccer park, 10,000 seats, whole thing. But it's high school football being played. And let me just tell you this. High School OT, by the way, they're under our same umbrella here at Capital Broadcasting, so they're our colleagues, just to put, biases on Front Street here. We used to play, when I played high school football, we had things we called jamborees. This is not that, right? Jamborees for us were, we got 3 teams together on a really, really hot, really, really muggy day, and we'd be in a field somewhere, probably a practice field of one of the 3 schools, and we'd almost have like 3 individual practices and then get together for like just the 7-on-7 team run and scrimmaging portion of the day. And you'd scrimmage all of them. You'd do all the practicing. There were no fans. This was not an event. It was miserable. You would condition together. I don't know why we did that. Like one coach would have us all running gassers. It's like, what are we doing here? Felt like the Junction Boys, but you didn't even know the people running next to you. This is a big event with fans. They have 3 or 4 of the top 50 recruits in the country in their class playing in it. These are teams that are polished. 3 or 4 of them played in the state championship of their class last year. It is a truly high-level event. And you can buy your tickets early. Go to highschoolot.com, buy your tickets. Then you can bypass the lines at the beginning. Who doesn't love bypassing lines? You feel like a king and a queen walking by everybody else, waiting, trying to get their money out. You have it on your phone. Yeah. You just walk up to the side, scan, and go in. It's fantastic.
It's like getting a mobile order at a fast food place, or if you get the fast lane at an amusement park.
Absolutely. If you're at like Universal or Disney or one of those big parks and you get the lightning pass, whatever they call them now, you almost feel like you don't want to make eye contact with the peasants in the waiting line as you just walk right on
and
by.
And you know they just have so much content for you.
Oh,
too.
They hate you. They hate you. You're smiling. They're like playing heads up with their friends for the 47th hour because they've been sitting in that line forever. You can be that walkthrough person at the High School OT Jamboree if you go to highschoolot.com and buy your tickets ahead of time. While you're there, subscribe, by the way. They cover high school sports as well as anybody in the state, better than anyone in the state, maybe as well as anybody in the country. Jamboree. Tomorrow, one more time, 5 p.m. is when it gets started. They have a game an hour, a scrimmage an hour, all the way through the 9 to 10 o'clock hour. And it is at First Horizon Stadium, Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary. Be sure to check it out. That's number 3. Let's get to number 2.
Just the 2 of us.
The Wyndham Championship, this week's stop on the PGA Tour, is going on. There's still some guys out there on the course over in Greensboro. As we speak, Sedgefield Country Club. The leaders, it had been Ben James, solo for most of the day. Jordan Smith. These are not the biggest names in the world. Ben Jones and Jordan Smith. Jordan Smith had one of the lowest rounds on the course today, 6 under par. Puts him in a tie, 11 under with Ben James. So they are in first. Third solo is Bo Hostler. He's still out on the course through 13. He is 10 under par. There is a mash of people tied for 4th at 9 under par. A couple of guys with local ties. Michael Brennan tied for 4th. He played his college golf at Wake Forest. Alex Smalley, who actually belongs to Sedgefield Country Club. He is a Greensboro native. Played his college golf at Duke. He is tied for 4th at 9 under par. Also at a 6 under on the day today. And Max Gracerman, who played at Duke. He is tied for 4th, 9 under par as well. Gracerman started the tournament 99th in the FedEx Cup playoffs. In order to make the first round of the FedEx Cup playoffs, the St. Jude Invitational, He needs to finish no worse than solo second. And I believe I did the math correct on that. Maybe he could sneak in there if there's a two-way tie for second, but I believe he has to be a solo second or better. He is currently tied for fourth. This is the last tournament on the PGA calendar, so he has to do it this week. We'll see if he can. There should be a couple interesting kind of fights for that last spot. Although nobody's really moving up or down right now, other than the leader, Ben James, has gone from 141 to in the projections if he can pull off the win. I like the playoff race. I think we're going to get much, much better at monitoring like I'm trying to do right now, like the bottom part of PGA Tour events, because starting in 2028, there's going to be a promotion and relegation system in the PGA. So much like European soccer, where you track who's winning, but you also need to know who's potentially getting relegated. We're going to be paying a lot of attention to the guys we like, because every golf fan has the studs you like, the big names, the all-time greats, but you also have a few journeymen that are your dudes. And you're gonna be paying attention to those guys and whether they're staying in the championship series or the challenger series starting in a couple seasons. Speaking of, and Max, you kind of have connections to the area, so maybe you'll have some opinions on this. This is a big week for the Wyndham because they have started announcing which tournaments are going to be included in the championship series, the top series for the PGA once they go to that promotion relegation system. And the Wyndham wants this week to go awesome. They want a super exciting Sunday. They want a packed leaderboard. They want great weather. They want big crowds. They want television ratings through the roof. They want great sponsorship participation. They want it all because you want to show the PGA why you should be one of those. I think it's 20 championship series events, which will have the best golfers in the world. And then there's going to be the Challenger Series, which will have that next group. So if you want to be one of the top 20 tournaments, you want to show off this week. Hopefully the Greensboro area, flexing like restaurants, like every PGA Tour employee is getting treated really, really well because you desperately, if you're Wyndham, want to be in that top group. Desperately. I think they should. I hope they will. Because like the majors and everything, those are excluded from this. So you got to be one of the 20 top, excluding the majors and I think the players. So I think they can do it. Got to be better than like the 3M.
I would take it over
Rocket
the 3M.
Classic.
Rocket Classic, they just redid that course though. It looked I like it better than before. I felt like before that course was kind of boring and a little flat, but it seemed like they did some cool things with the reno they did before this year's tournament. I mean, I still would rather have the Wyndham be on the championship series. But
let's do this quickly. Either or, Wyndham or there's some John Deere. Wyndham or Travelers.
That's a tough one. Probably Travelers.
Yeah, I agree.
Because guys can shoot like 57 there.
Wyndham or the Schwab Challenge.
Wyndham.
Wyndham or last one. The CJ Cup, the Byron Nelson.
Oh, Byron Nelson. That's a tough one. I probably, which one would I rather have, or which one do I think they'd go to?
Well, both. Which one would you rather
Probably,
have?
Well, obviously I'm biased towards the Wyndham, but I think probably Byron Nelson gets priority over that.
The thing that I think the Wyndham has going for it is I do think they will try to diversify the locations, right? So if you keep the Byron Nelson, that's probably a knock against the Schwab because they're both in Texas. Like there's not a lot in this area of the country, and you want this area to be represented because there's good golf here.
It's just quail.
Exactly, and that's not an every year stop. And it's Pinehurst and all that, but not every year stops. That is number 2. How about number 1? The Carolina Panthers won a preseason game last night, and they're the only team this NFL season to be in the win column of any kind. How you like me now? Arizona, as I said earlier, and that was kind of facetious there, but also 100% true. As I said earlier, the final score should not impact how you feel about a preseason game at all. You can like that game-winning drive for the execution of it, the play calling of it, the clock management of it, the Haynes King moxie. You can like the final drive, but the fact that they won that game should not impact if you think it was a good game or a bad game for the Panthers. Because you're not playing to win. If you were playing to win, your best players would play the whole game. They wouldn't play 2-3 drives and then come out. If they were playing to win, your starters wouldn't have been on the bench. If they were playing to win, you wouldn't have wide receivers who showed up for the team like 2 days before the game out there running routes. You're not playing to win. You're playing to evaluate. And the game came down real close, right? In the final score, I also think it came down real close as far as was there more good than bad for the Panthers. And maybe they were able to eke out a 3-point win at the end, just like they did on the scoreboard. But the young corners biting on every double move, that's got to be coached out of them, especially because in previous media availabilities, Dave Canales had referenced that Will Lee, one of their draft picks, the corner, can get beat on big plays. Like if you're already aware that's part of your game that needs to be fixed, so much so that your head coach has referenced it, and in your first game action of preseason football, you get double moved for a big play, that's an issue, right? You can make a mistake. You can't make the same mistake over and over again. So the young corners, not their best. The trenches got pushed around a little bit. Now, I know it wasn't the starters, but both offensively and defensively, I think the interior of the lines needed to play better. I didn't think the running backs had a great game, particularly Trevor Achan. I didn't think special teams was particularly great, although they showed signs of life later in the game. There's no way Carson Beck should look that good. So there's enough negative. The good, which is obviously what everyone's focusing on, the wide receivers that are fighting for roster spots, most of them made a case. Jasim Reed caught a touchdown. Jimmy Horn Jr., the game-winning drive, made some clutch catches, some tough catches. Also shook off a tackler. Didn't do a lot of that last year. Made some good plays. And there's one, John Mechie. Mechie made some plays and also had a nice return, which the more you can do. So the wide receivers were solid. Obviously, Haynes King was electric. People are going to make a bigger deal out of that than they probably should. Kenny Pickett looked calm, bored, which is probably what a guy who's started 27 games or something like that in the NFL should feel when he's out there playing with third stringers and backups during a Hall of Fame game. I liked Brad Idzik's play calling. I was joking around with Chris Lee of WRAL on Twitter about this. It's almost like he wanted to scream from the mountaintops, I'm not Frank Reich. I'm not Dave Canales. I'm not any of these play callers you've had. I don't have to be vanilla during the preseason to save all my craziness for the regular season because I have plenty, right? Like when Frank Reich kept saying vanilla, it felt like, oh, you only have 8 surprise plays in your playbook, huh? You can't use any of them in the preseason. Brad Idzik was calling like fake screens, trying to catch them going downfield. He was calling some misdirections. He was having some fun. He was moving the pocket, which tells me he's not like only depending on the element of surprise to be a successful play caller. He'll try to use what you're doing against you and have the right play call for it. So I was actually impressed with Brad Idzik's play calling, even if a lot of times in those games, the rookies on the other team are going to be overcommitting. You could get him going in the wrong direction all you want. We'll do it occasionally. You know what I mean? If they're going to overcommit, use it against them. Don't just sit there and go, well, we're going to be vanilla and bland. We don't want to give anything away. No. And then I'll go back on everything I just said. Celebrate the win because we're fans and we don't actually matter. Right? Just go nuts. This weekend, have a toast to Haynes King, the legend. Have a toast to the undefeated Carolina Panthers. Right? All right? Anybody? All right. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That was the starting 5. Brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. For roofing, siding, windows, and doors, trust the team that's been doing good work for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing the Carolinas since 1915. We do have one more shot for you to go ahead and get your hands on some Billy Idol tickets, and I'll tell you how in a second. But first, Tim Donnelly here from Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. I've been describing it this way for a long time. Maynard Service Company and their owner, Brett, who is a no-nonsense, very personable guy, like every offensive line coach I've ever met. Maynard Service Company is the offensive line coach of your life. They're coaching the guys. They're coaching the unheralded but super-duper important parts of your life. The offensive line coach makes sure your life runs smooth. Maynard Service Company takes care of the heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical work. When somebody has a beautiful house, you're visiting your friend, your cousin, your whoever, your boss, and you walk in and they have a beautiful house, guess what? You never go, oh, wow, what awesome plumbing you have. Oh, your electrical work is great. No, you say like, oh, your counters are beautiful. Oh, the natural light. Oh, this space is so welcoming. Just like when you watch a football team, you never go, gosh, their offense is so good. Their right guard is incredible. No, you say like, oh, man, Josh Allen. Oh, man, Lamar Jackson. Oh, man, Patrick Mahomes. Oh, the wide receivers. Oh, the running backs. You talk about the fantasy football positions. Maynard Service Company, they are the unheralded engine of your team. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electrical, the offensive line of the house. If anything's broken, if anything needs fixing, Maynard Service Company, 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at maynardservices.com. Again, the phone number, 919-361-0993. And again, the website, maynardservices.com, MAYNOR services.com. Now, as promised, one more chance to win yourself some Billy Idol tickets. You got to play the numbers game, and you have to win the numbers game. But the prize for today, as it has been all week, is Billy Idol tickets, a pair at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 23rd. So call in now for your chance. 919-860-5326. We need two contestants. 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
Excuse me, you think you could spare a square?
Sorry, what?
A square on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, for the 99.9 The Fan app.
Exactly. Listen to your favorite hosts, teams, and live sports action.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere.
Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
A lot has changed since 1915. The way the Baker family treats people hasn't. They've roofed the Carolinas for over 100 years. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's kept that promise for generations. Baker Home Exteriors. Always good work. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com.
You're listening to the Financial Safari News Network.
From Coach Pete's Money Desk, America's wealth coach and author of the big book on retirement, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Coach, it really is always tax time. So how is a tax plan incorporated in your overall retirement plan?
It's just about having a plan put together. So we'll put a tax plan together for you to help you look ahead. It's a tax financial flight plan. So looking ahead in retirement to reduce your taxes, not just the simple ways, but there's some complex tax saving strategies we go over with those of you with high net worth. If you have a net worth over $2 million, we've got some great tax saving strategies that could reduce your tax bill. It did for me, 35%. Federal tax and state, 35% less by taking advantage of some special tax saving strategies. So call us right now if you want to find this out.
888-456-7577, 888-456-7577, or text ZONE to 600-700.
Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
Genie log, day 15,824. The
Powerball jackpot is over $800 million now. I'll be stuck in this little lamp forever with nothing but all this stupid gold and rare gems. A gold-plated motorcycle? Sure does a lot of good when you live in a 10x10 magic lamp. Come find me. I'm at latitude 36.06.
Grant your own wishes. The Powerball jackpot is over $800 million. Must be 18 to play. Approximate jackpot odds are 1 in 293 million. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game, but it is like clockwork when Max is producing the show. We had 2 contestants, but one had won tickets more recently, or too recently. You have to wait 30 days between winning things. So we need one more caller. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. You can be thrown right into the mix and potentially win some Billy Idol tickets. Just make sure you have not won any prizes from us in the last 30 days, or you'll have to be booted. So we have one contestant. We need one more. Call in now, 919-860-5326. You answer some trivia questions about jersey numbers. You do a good job at it. You do it quickly. You can be going to see Billy Idol at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on August 23rd. 919-860-5326. And there you go. Max is, the phone is already to his ear, so I assume he is bringing in our next contestant, and it is Kirk and Timberlake will be added to the group. James in Morrisville has been waiting patiently, so let's go ahead and decide who goes first by asking them both the same question. Max will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer, and we will go from there. James in Morrisville, we'll start with you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. I was normally on Fridays I ask what are you looking forward to most about the weekend, but ESPN the Ocho is going on. So removing all traditional sports, no football, no baseball, no basketball, like no hockey, removing all traditional sports, what's your favorite game, competition, off the wall sport?
Does ping pong count?
I'll count it if that's what you want to roll with.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll ping pong.
All right. Any follow-ups?
Are you a good ping pong player, James?
I'm not bad. I'm not good, but I'm not bad.
That's what somebody good would say. You hustler. All right, so you're locked in with ping pong, James. Let's go to Kirk and Timberlake. Kirk, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, same question to you. In honor of ESPN the Ocho, removing all traditional sports, we need an off-the-wall sport or a game or an activity. What is your favorite of the non-traditional sports?
Yeah, non-traditional. I'm going to have to go with billiards. I like playing pool.
All right. They're both classics, but they are non-traditional. Do you have any follow-ups? All right, then, Max, you get to choose between ping pong and billiards.
2 great rec room games. If your buddy down the street had one of these as a kid, you were probably over there a lot.
We had a ping pong table.
Yep.
It was
my friend did as well
very
in
competitive.
his garage, and we played a lot. I am partial to ping pong, so we'll give the nod to James.
All right. I will say, in my experience, people that call pool billiards, I don't like playing against them because they're good. I want somebody that calls it like the stick where you put you hit the cue ball. I'm like, yep, we'll play for money. James in Morrisville, you get to go first. Kirk and Timberlake, you just got to sit on hold for a second. James, you ready to pick a category?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right, the categories are NFL players born near Canton, Ohio. They were Ohio natives. Major League Baseball players who led the league in triples at some point in their career, NBA players that were teammates of Chucky Brown at some point or another, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Send you the NFL players born near Canton, Ohio.
All right, I will give you the team and the player. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There'll be 30 seconds on the clock, 1 pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Yes, sir.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. David Montgomery, Detroit Lions.
32.
Incorrect. Kareem Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs.
7.
Incorrect. David Montgomery, Detroit Lions.
33.
Incorrect. Kareem Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs.
1.
Incorrect. David Montgomery, Detroit Lions.
34.
Incorrect. Kareem Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs.
Pass.
Antoine Winfield Jr., Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
9.
Incorrect. Kareem Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs. Not the best run, James. 27 was
27.
Kareem Hunt, correct? You don't get any bonus points, though, for getting it right after. Just a little bit of pride. Just playing for pride at that point. You're probably better at ping pong than you did right there. 0 for 5. But because you went first, you still have a chance because tie goes to whoever goes first. So stay on the line. We'll see if you luck out, okay? That brings us to Kirk and Timberlake. Kirk, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are Major League Baseball players that led their league in triples at some point in their career, NBA players that at some point or another were teammates of Chucky Brown, or NHL Hurricanes only.
I'm going to go with NBA players that played with Chucky Brown from NC State.
There you go. Played for 12 teams in the NBA, by the way. It's insane. So they were all teammates with him at some point in the NBA. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, sir.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Tim Duncan, San Antonio Spurs.
25.
Incorrect. Chris Mullin, Golden State Warriors.
15.
Incorrect. Tim Duncan, San Antonio Spurs.
33.
Incorrect. Chris Mullin, Golden State Warriors.
17.
Correct. Peja Stojakovic, Sacramento Kings.
Pass.
James Worthy, Los Angeles Lakers.
42.
Correct. Christian Laettner, Atlanta Hawks.
32.
You were a little off after the buzzer, but you were correct with Christian Laettner. Fortunately for you, that doesn't matter because you already had the win. You got 2. You got Chris Mullin. You got James Worthy, and that's plenty. You only needed 1. So congratulations on the win. You're going to get some tickets to see Billy Idol.
Okay.
Sounds
good. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you as well. Go ahead and stay on the line, and Max will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. For those of you playing at home, San Antonio Spurs, Tim Duncan, number 21. Chris Mullin, 17. Peja Stojakovic, 16. James Worthy, 42. Christian Laettner, 32. Those are the numbers we were looking for. I will never forget Tim Duncan, 21, because both he and when he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kevin Garnett were 21, and that was always one of the debates when I was growing up. Who's the better power forward? Maybe Rasheed Wallace thrown in there as well. But those two guys were always the debate, and they both wore 21, and I, for some reason, have that stored in my memory in the do not delete portion, and it's going to stay with me forever and ever. Then Dirk got in the mix. Pau Gasol got in the mix. They weren't the only ones. Maybe Jermaine O'Neal getting in the mix. But Big Ticket and Big Fundamental both wore 21. Also, shout out to the caller, the winner there, Kirk and Timberlake, because when he got a little confused, when he got a little like, I don't know this one, he threw out 33, which is a piece of advice I used to give out all the time for NBA numbers game. If you're stuck and you're just throwing darts, you don't really know and you're just guessing, 3, 32, and 33 and 23. So really any form of 3 and 2. Number 3, number 33, number 32, and number 23. It just seems like there's an insane amount of NBA players that wore those numbers. 23 makes sense for Jordan. I think 3 might have been a Allen Iverson thing where everybody wanted to wear his number. 32, probably Magic. 33, probably both Kareem and Bird. And it just started there, and then everybody else wanted those numbers. But if you're ever stuck and you're in an NBA category, throw 3, 33, 23, or 32. And I think you'll be just statistically like a couple percentages more likely to get it right. So good guessing there by Kirk. Even though it didn't work out, I think the strategy was sound. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will take a break, but we have to make some picks going into the weekend. This is the last weekend where we don't have a bunch of NFL games to pick. So we'll make our picks. We'll have some fun with it, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey everyone, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. We hear this in sports often about practice, get better at your skill, get better at your craft. Well, as a motorcycle rider, practicing actually is something that you need to continuously do. Even if you've been riding a motorcycle for well over a decade, you should still look to continue to improve your skills. Maybe it's taking an advanced riding course. That way, if you're on the road and a dangerous situation comes your way, you can react quickly, but also react under control. That's the biggest thing that you can do to help yourself in times on the road when danger might pop up. But you could do all the right things and still be involved in an accident, and this is where Law Tigers steps in. Give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Your case evaluation is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm. 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, lawtigers.com.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
It's disgusting. It's annoying. If a billionaire tells you, hey, I just bought another yacht, are you like, wow, amazing, way to go? You're like, cool, rub it in. I don't have air conditioning. I don't think this is fun for other fans around Major League Baseball. The Dodgers can get anybody they want, and the worst part about this is a lockout is all but signed, sealed, delivered.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Yeah. Can you pass me a Baja?
A what?
Mountain Dew Baja Blast. Try it. It's tropical at first, then the lime flavor hits.
Oh, okay. That's crisp. Tastes like vacation.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And it's mine now.
Have a Baja Blast.
Right now at Circle K, buy a 20-ounce Mountain Dew and get another for just $1. Do the Dew at Circle K today.
It's bow time. Ordering Bojangles Bow Bites is the easiest choice you'll make today. The bite-sized hand-breaded chicken is fried to crispy perfection, making it perfect for sharing, snacking, or when you're on the go. Just don't call it a nugget. The only hard part is choosing from our 6 dipping sauces. We've got a sauce for every kind of craving, from our creamy house-made ranch to our sweet and spicy peach honey pepper sauce. It all depends on what kind of mood you're in. Head to your nearest Bojangles today and discover the dippable, shareable, and craveable Bow Bites. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to head on over to Bojangles to try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. Bite-sized hand-breaded chicken fried to crispy perfection. On the go, they're perfect for snacking or sharing. Dipped in your favorite sauce like creamy house-made ranch or peach honey pepper, they're the perfect way to satisfy your craving for flavor and value. Try Bojangles' new Bow Bites. It's an easy choice to make when it's bow time.
Michael McDonald here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan, bringing you out a break, getting you in the proper groove for the weekend. Max, I meant to tell you this the other day. All of our discussion of Michael McDonald and all of our listening of Michael McDonald when you're producing the show has infiltrated my algorithms on social media. I saw, like, just on my, I think it was Instagram,
They're listening.
A music video for Michael McDonald, and then I think it was Instagram again. It may have been Twitter. There was a voice, you know, the show The Voice, where they like the American Idol, The Voice, whatever, where they've turned the chairs. Jimmy Fallon, as a joke, went on The Voice as an auditioner and sang a Michael McDonald impression, Michael McDonald song. And that came up, and I think this was like 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. It was a long time ago. And it came up on my social media, and I thought, like, this is Max. This is how he gets me. He plays enough Michael McDonald around me, so we talk about Michael McDonald enough. So the social medias that's always listening, right, the big brother that's always listening thinks I love Michael McDonald. They start pumping Michael McDonald into all forms of my life, and then eventually he wears me down, and I'm now a Michael McDonald diehard fan just like you. You're like inceptioning Michael McDonald into my playlist.
Well, you just said his name like 10 times, so if your phone heard all of that, and you're about to get a whole lot more.
Do you know what? Question for the people out, the conspiracy theorists out there. When your phone is listening to everything, I think we all agree that our phone is always listening, right? which I don't care. I don't mind, right? If I'm coughing a lot and my phone starts suggesting like awesome cough medicines, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's kind of convenient, right? If I'm talking about, hey, we need to redo our cabinets in the kitchen for 2 weeks, and they start suggesting like looks of cabinets, I don't hate that. Something I'm talking about. And my life's not like secret enough. There's nothing interesting enough that I think they're going to be like, ooh, we got him. But do you think they can tell tone? Like if I'm talking about Michael McDonald with a negative tone, like I hate Michael McDonald. Why is all this Michael McDonald playing? Can they sense that and then like never give me Michael McDonald?
That's a great question.
Are the computers
ask, like,
that
Mark
smart?
Zuckerberg or something?
Are the computers that smart? Because there's only 2 reasons I would talk about something a lot. If I'm like really interested in it and I like it, or if I absolutely hate it. Right? Like, oh, I tried I tried anchovies last night. They're disgusting. I hate them. I hope I never have them again. Are they going to be suggesting anchovies, or can they sense that and go like, never give this guy an anchovy? That's what I want to know. Conspiracy theorists out there, tell me. Get to the bottom of it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That's enough Michael McDonald talk until the end of the show when we play you on the way out.
It has infiltrated the rundown so heavily.
I know, and it should. I mean, it's a good bit. I think it's funny. Our youngest part of the show loves the oldest music. Does at the end of the end of the year, Spotify will tell you like your listening age? Are you like 74?
It's in the 60s.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was exactly last year, but it was definitely in the 60s.
That tracks. That tracks. All right, Mr. 60s listening style, go ahead and line some things up for us to make some picks.
Well, unfortunately, they're still not exceedingly.
I mean, we could go Ocho if we need to.
Well, we could get into some Ocho stuff too. I didn't even have that. I do have some legitimate sporting events. Not that the Ocho competitions are not legitimate, but just maybe some more off the board things. And we'll start. We've been talking about this a good bit today. We'll start with the Wyndham Championship down there at Sedgefield Country Club in Greensboro. Currently, I believe Ben James is still the leader at 11 under. But there are a couple of local products as well that we've mentioned over the course of the show. Max Grazerman hustling to try to make the PGA Tour playoffs. Alex Smalley in the mix. Alex Fitzpatrick, I believe, is just kind of wrapping up his round sometime soon here. Who are you picking to take home the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro?
This is a bummer for me because I make a pretty big rule about our show that you can't brag about picks that you don't make on the show, which is why sometimes I just rattle through picks just to be like, I just want a receipt so everybody knows I said it, because there's an epidemic in our country of sports fans, sports media people not ever telling anybody that they think an underdog is going to win, and then the underdog wins, and they then brag as if like, I knew it was going to happen, and I'm like, there's no way for anyone to corroborate that. So I did in my personal life make some picks and picked Sahith Theegala to win this week. He is tied for 4th and is one of the, I would say, better names in that group, like the better golfers in that group that's 9 under or better. So even though I can't brag about it because I didn't actually do it on air, so I want no credit for it, I'll try to get some credit for it now and say Theegala is going to win the whole darn thing. He didn't play great today, played much better yesterday, but I think he's going to get it going on the weekend. Give me Theegala to make it happen. Although I would love to be wrong and have one of the local guys get the win. If it's Gracerman, if it's Michael Brennan, who's moved up, another Wake Forest golfer tied for 4th. If it's Alex Smalley, a Duke golfer, I think all of them would be excellent additions to the winner's circle.
I'm gonna ride with Tom Kim. He won one of the years that I went. I don't remember if it was the first year or not, but I remember he had started the tournament with a quad bogey and ended up coming back to win. Actually, like, really comfortably too. I don't think there was a ton of drama down the stretch because he had such a commanding lead. So I think he had just made a bogey or something on a recent hole, but he's up there among the contenders a couple shots back. So we'll go with Tom Kim trying to get his 2nd win of the year and his 2nd win at the Wyndham.
I like Tom Kim as a golfer.
I like Tom Kim a lot.
I probably bet on him more than I should because I just like, it's fun to root for Tom Kim. He's a good mic'd up golfer as well.
Oh yeah. We'll go over to the pitch, the soccer field in Charlotte tonight. Some Leagues Cup action between MLS and Liga MX. Charlotte FC is hosting Atlas FC. Charlotte FC started off Leagues Cup, I think it was Tuesday night, had a 3-0 win over Pumas, and now they're taking on Atlas. They are a favorite in this one. Charlotte FC minus 105. Draw is at plus 245, and Atlas is plus 260. Any insight on the Charlotte FC Leagues Cup match tonight?
Charlotte FC wins. I don't have any insight at all. I can watch soccer like I watched sports when I was like 7 years old, which is I know goals are good and I know giving up goals are bad. I have a vague awareness of some of the rules, but I don't know enough, so I don't like passing it off as if I know a ton. So Charlotte FC is going to win because they're local, and you said they're favorite.
Yeah, I'm wondering, I know the new kind of big splash edition, Alan St. Maximin, has been in training. I don't know if he's up to game speed or like fully integrated in the squad yet, so I'm interested to see if he makes his debut tonight. I think it's probably still a little bit away, so maybe the next MLS game. But yeah, let's hope Charlotte FC can stay hot to start Leagues Cup and try to put a trophy in the trophy case.
I also don't like how soccer teams, like, they play league games and then they also play just against other leagues in the middle of it. Like, oh, you got to wait for the next MLS game. Why are you playing weird cross-league games in the middle of your season? Like, it's not like, oh, you know, the Hornets are going to play the Sixers on Tuesday, but first they're going to go play Barcelona in the Eurobasket League. It's why that makes I don't like it. Play your season when you play your season. You can do some fun stuff in the off season if you want.
All right, we'll go over now to there's another event happening in Charlotte tonight. It is PFL, Pro Fighters League. They have an event at the Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte because the hometown fighter Brian Battle is going to be in action taking on Dalton Rosta in the main event. That is tonight. Brian Battle, slight favorite at minus 142, taking on Dalton Rosta, who's plus 120. I'm going with Brian Battle. He used to be in the UFC. I don't know if how plugged in or if you've heard his name before. He was in UFC, and I think he was either undefeated or off to a really good start. Didn't end up making weight for a fight. I think this was about a year or two ago and got removed from UFC. Now he's in PFL, main event tonight. Is he going to get it done at home in Charlotte?
I will second. I will co-sign your deal there. I also Googled it, and Tapology has a poll going, and 87% of the people have picked Battle, and a good percentage of them have picked by knockout or TKO.
That's typically how he wins fights.
So, yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with Battle on a knockout.
There we go. Just for fun, how about a little tennis? There's a little American matchup going on at the ATP in Montreal tonight between Lerner Tien, who's kind of a younger upstart player, and Tommy Paul, who's been a little more established, but American versus American. Tommy Paul's a favorite at minus 185. Lerner Tien at plus 145. Who you taking in this match, Tim?
I'm taking whoever you tell me to take. That's what I do.
I like Lerner Tien.
There you go.
He's a young player. I think he actually might have won. I could be wrong about this, and I need to double check. He may have won the Winston-Salem Open.
If I know I'm going to be watching a sporting event that I know nothing about, what I do is I find somebody I know who does know that sport. I text them, who should I bet on? I play some bets, and then I know who I'm rooting for. Then I got skin in the game. So I would just you follow tennis. I'm calling you. We won't be making picks here, but I do want to highlight some ESPN the Ocho events. How about this? Bare knuckle fighting ice wars. That's got to be hockey fighting.
That sounds intense.
A combat sport on the ice. That's got to be hockey fighting, right? That's just enforcers. Pumpkin toss. Catapults and slings to launch pumpkins. Distance and accuracy. Hacky sack. Brew skee ball. The ultimate skee ball competition. But I imagine there's some brews involved in that because they call it brew skee ball.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some there's like some kind of pro skee ball player I keep getting in my algorithm on social media giving like tips on how to beat your friends at skee ball.
Death diving league.
Death diving.
Extreme divers fly through the air, leap horizontally, and hold a flat out or piked position before curling up just ahead of impact. Fire department racing. The ISSA housekeeping games. Competitors race through cleaning challenges and are judged on speed, accuracy, and technique. Where do they come up with this stuff?
Have we already missed donk? Is there any more donk tossing or?
I do not see donk tossing. This is just like these are all new sports to the Ocho this year.
Oh,
these are
okay.
just the new donk tossing. Everybody knows donk tossing. That's been around forever. These are just the new ones. That's crazy that they have this many. Great Bahamian crab races. All it says as a description is racers claw their way to the finish line. The whole sport is a pun on claw races, and they don't give you any more information than that. There's a 2 goalies, all goalie game. The description officially, imagine an all goalie hockey game.
Yeah, I think Paul was talking about that this morning.
So they just have 2 goalies on each team?
No, I think it's just like everyone's a goalie.
No, it's 2 goalies, all goalie game.
Oh, I thought it was just all.
I think there's one
hockey.
goalie playing goalie and one goalie playing forward, and they're playing 1-on-1 until the score.
Oh, I thought it was full on 5v5. Maybe I misunderstood earlier.
There's soapbox race. There's spin-off flug tag, which is, I believe, participants will launch uniquely designed flying machines.
Established classics like Slippery Stairs. That one's always on like ESPN News.
Blaster tag, competitive foam dart tournament. I'll tell you what, if you don't have something planned this weekend, the Ocho looks good to me. If you do have plans this weekend, enjoy them. We're going to see you on Monday. That's going to do it for us here on The Drive. Do not be watching the Ocho tomorrow when the HighSchoolOT Jamboree's going on. So go to the Jamboree. That's my advice there. As promised, Michael McDonald to play out. Have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.
The Adam Gold Show.
I've been critical of Dave Canales ever since he became the head coach because I thought he never bought into Bryce Young. But the way he has talked about his quarterbacks